We fixed the sound. We have sound now. I've not used this particular scene. So yeah, that's an issue. My mic is clipping? It's not clipping, that's very good. Yes. I want you all to feel my pain. It's been endless IKEA in the Hiyu household. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Oh my god. Okay. Yes. Sounds working. Very good. Let me know if you cannot hear me because I'm this far away from the microphone. That's literally all the stream is gonna be, is me making IKEA furniture because I know I want to see you guys again. It's been a while. I've been jumping between medications for my gut and stuff like that, so it's been pretty bad times. I've been ill a lot of side effects, problems and stuff like that. But starting next week, I might have a normal week, which is amazing. It's been the first time since February that I've had a normal week. So I'll be able to be making videos again very soon. That'll be very good. I've been to space. I can assemble IKEA. Hopefully. Alright, well, we've got a bunch of stuff here on the floor. You can't see it, but you wouldn't be able to see my head otherwise. I could probably move the camera down slightly. Yeah, lovely. You can see all that stuff now. That's the mic. Thought process. I need YouTube videos and I need to make furniture. Well, I wanted to talk to you people actually. That's the main reason. Because it's been too long. It's been too long, damn it. With no video. And I wanted to just talk to you guys because it's been a while. I'm gonna need to sneeze a few times because I've got the end of an illness right now, so that's gonna be happening. Okay, it looks like I have all the pieces I need. What? There's only one box, right? Oh! Right. I see now. Okay. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Am I using a PlayStation camera as a mic? No, it's a, this is an actual microphone, proper one. The camera is just some HP camera. You once assembled a TV stand, it was like the instructions were not in English, second one was easier. Yeah, they're in like alien language, some kind of weird pictograms. But it's mostly understandable. It's just a lot of effort to move stuff around. Sniffing. Right. Let's first get everything out of the box. There's a big one coming. Come on. It seems like a pretty big deal. You can go against the wall. Oh yeah, this is a thing. This is a thing. I'm a pine marten. That's what species I'm. Why? Why? You ask. Ow, man, that's my foot. You ask why? Because I need to get this done, and I want to talk to you guys at the same time. So, also this is Sweden. IKEA is literally 10 minutes in that direction, on the same road as me. So, okay. Instructions. We have all the things we need. I'm gonna try and open this bag of parts here. Oh my god, they go right into it, okay. Oh boy. Let me just blow my nose quickly. Hey Alastair, that is correct. We did finally go to IKEA. One moment guys, I gotta drink some water. Hey Draco. Hey Draco. Nice. Awesome that you're in Orlando, Florida. I hope you get to all the cool launches soon. Regarding Kennedy Space Center stuff, I won't say too much, but there's already some stuff planned. You're making a Q&A video for 100 subs. If you get any questions you want to ask, we'll let you guys include mine. Okay. I don't think I know your videos enough, but I don't want to just ask a generic question without knowing you very well, your videos and stuff. Remember you realize that assembling that thing from IKEA is going to be a bitch. Yeah. It's not as much a bitch as the... So can you guys see? The very corner of the screen, there's a bed that's just visible, I think. No, it's not. It's out of frame. I have that bed with the 3 drawers underneath. It's officially rated the hardest thing to make from IKEA. So I don't know why I bought it, but it looked nice. It didn't have a head of a bed, so... Okay. Well, I'm gonna move everything because we're going straight into the big guns. Just remember, they always forget something important, so be prepared to improvise. No, they've been really good with remembering it to put everything in. Oh my god, am I streaming at insane settings? I'm probably streaming at like ridiculous settings. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm streaming at 1440, 60 hertz. This crappy webcam. Yeah, I should have changed that. Oh well. There's no time to think. I'm gonna build. This is the highest quality IKEA lifestyle. Oh my god. That was surprisingly muted. Right, we're gonna get. That wasn't. Okay, we're gonna get some of these screws. Is it this one? I think this is for the drawers. So it's gotta be this one. Ow! These are sharp. Make a nice little small hole so you can pick them out. How many of these do I need? 13! Alright. 2, 3. Come on. 5, 7, 10, 13. Bloody hell. Is this video sponsored by IKEA? No. Get kicked in the butt by IKEA furniture. Yeah, this furniture has already kicked my ass. What is your favorite part of a pine one? Like, they have really cute faces and the neck fluff as well. Like, they have this really golden neck fluff. So like, I know, I really love the face. It's really like elegant and straight. Oh yeah, the reason I'm a Pine Martin is because of the His Dark Materials book series by Philip Pullman. I was a big fan of those, even though they get really, really weird. I'm not so sure what happened at the end of those. Alright, let's, do I have this in the correct orientation? Yes. 2, 3. Outer, middle, outer. Okay. Thank God I have a drill, you know. Which way? That way. Yep. Now, when I was working on my film set, imagine it was like this, except really... Oh my god, we have our first ever super chat. Hello, how are you from your first patron? Hope you're doing okay. I'm actually on vacation in Norway, in Bergen. Bergen. You find IKEA relaxing. You disgusting monster. IKEA is terrible. No, thanks dude. Thanks for the $5. That's really awesome. It will go towards the spacesuit. I'm building a spacesuit soon. I'm currently in the designing stages, trying to figure out what materials to use, but I will build a spacesuit from scratch. I don't want to go into space with it, but it'll be a costume. So, yeah, I so want to wear that at cons, but I want to make a film. I'm gonna make a freaking film, guys. But first I gotta make some videos, so I'll get those out really soon. Oh wow, the chat is scrolling faster than I can read it on the zoom level I have it at. What are you guys doing? Scroll out please. Oh my god, it's scrolled way in. We are having some technical difficulties. Give me a sec. Can I not scroll out please? You actually work at IKEA. Amazing, Nolan. Will you be seeing me at EF? Yes, I will be at EF. Could be as loud as rocket science. Make it look like power armor so you can crush your enemies. No. It's gonna be a really peaceful looking one. Futuristic, but peaceful. Whoa, ho! That's how you hurt yourself. Back to the grind. You know, I'm gonna get my water bottle down here so I can chug water and IKEA at the same time. Okay. Did I see Adam Savage's? I've seen all of his spacesuits. I've been binge watching all of those videos in preparation for this. Gets 3 in there. Right. 1 in there. I see now. Oh, that was a really dodgy one. Oh no. This is why I've got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Oh well. Could be a section of YouTube for IKEA furniture building. Is this an IKEA speedrun? Oh my god. You got to be careful with this because you know a lot of the pieces look the same. You got to worry about like putting the wrong thing in the wrong place. Don't take that the wrong way. One goes at the end here. Okay. Make spiky wood board. It is very spiky. If I step on this thing, I'm screwed. Okay, how many people in this world have not actually made IKEA furniture in this hemisphere? Like, you gotta think about it, you know. Majira has definitely worked in IKEA furniture. You know, how many of the famous actors can you think of in like Hollywood, do you think haven't worked in IKEA furniture? I think all of them have at some point, surely. The game is done quick. We have Hiyu, a space furry trying to assemble IKEA. Awesome IKEA done quick. You guys are awesome. Well, the faster I do this, the less interaction I have with you guys. So I'm going to have to try and find a balance if there is such a thing. Sorry if the drill makes horrific noises, by the way. At least it's not moaning or something. Imagine if the drill moaned every time it over-talked. Okay. Right here. Surprisingly, I've never stripped a screw from IKEA, so they actually do shit with some solid stuff. And last one. This is very spiky now. The drill is rather quiet, that's good. Yeah, IKEA does dominate the furniture market. They're in everyone's home. They are the Swedish house mafia. Anyways. I'm just waiting until you guys hear the pun. I want to see what the comments are like. Oh, but you're posted a video right when I said his name. Speak of the devil and he shall upload. Oh my god, I screwed that one up. Literally. That's okay. Oh, that's terrible what I did there. Okay, at least it didn't go through the other side. 100% assemble these like IKEA furniture in fursuit. Do not assemble IKEA in fursuit. No, don't do that. Can you see my PC setup? Yeah, somehow. I'll just. I mean, gotta be careful when I'm standing on this thing. Okay. Let's see if I can clean up this desk because there's like some packaging. I just moved my laptop, so it was accompanying a space on my desk. Everything's kind of a mess. There's like a GoPro and things everywhere. Actually, several GoPros. Alright. Yep, so there's you guys on the screen. It's a very nice screen. And I've got two keyboards. One of them is quiet. It's an older keyboard I have, and one of them is the newer one. It's mechanical, so I don't want to use that during streams. That's all my medicine and stuff. And here we have, there is a Martin loving coffee there. And yeah, and there's the old GoPros up here. And a hard drive with my backups and stuff. This old GoPro is what I recorded everything on before, but I just got a new one thanks to you guys on Patreon. And we got a Rift there as well. Just for good measure. But yeah, this is a nice setup, but I do have a 1080p monitor, like an older one that I put here, but it's currently at a friend's house because I'm working on a video game with him. Don't ask, there's a lot of drama involved in the games industry. Yeah, there's the bed. Come on. Come on. I think angle it down maybe a bit more. Angle it to the side a bit more. Okay, it is not cooperating me a moment. Yeah, that should be fine. Space like here, yes. Yep, Xbox controller sitting where being used whenever it needs to be used. That is correct. I will prototype little game things in Unreal Engine every now and then, so I need to use that. Okay. This, by the way, is going to be the desk that I like do all kinds of like film props work on, where I do like some film set stuff. Probably won't end up getting a 3D printer because expensive and terrible to work with. But for like, you know, doing that kind of work, will be this desk. A PC mouse space is better than console gaming. It depends on your use case. I like PC, but that's because I play a lot. You buy a couch at IKEA, it comes in 2 huge boxes. Yes. Quality content. We need these things, okay? Be careful when I kneel. I need 2. Yeah, you gotta, like, even when you just buy a pre-made 3D printer, it's so much work. You gotta, like, get out a micrometer and measure, like, every piece of filament you use, because they're not all the same diameter. Wait, is it tilted? There we go. Still a bit tilted. Oh, we have someone in Discord, it seems. Oh, Rusty's here. Hello.
Oh.
You might be coming through both the speakers and the microphone, but we'll see. If people complain, we'll see. What's up?
Not too much. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm streaming IKEA furniture building.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching you.
Oh god. Yeah, so guys, this is Rusty. He's not the space spur.
Hello.
Who said live stream? Might look into it. We need this piece. What is that piece? Okay, it's one of these. Like that?
Booming echo voice. Slight echo. Nothing too bad.
I might turn your volume down just a bit then, because I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Alright, I see. A bit down there, a bit down here.
Oh no, Lego.
It's not like Lego, one bit.
No.
Because Lego gives you joy. IKEA sucks whatever's left away.
And as somebody who is an adult who still collects Lego.
Oh, let me tell you about Lego. So, some of you following me on Twitter may have noticed that I lost my drone. I crashed it in, well, I got it back, but I crashed it into the roof of a mall. And I was so worried about the poor boy overnight, cold on that rooftop, that I took this apart and put it all the way back together again without sleeping overnight because I was so anxious that this is the only way I could stop thinking about it. But I went in the next day, the security guards were like, oh, that's a fun meme. And we all went up and scaled the roof of the mall and got the boy back. Now let me put this back down without breaking it.
I don't have Assassin 5.
Get it!
I should.
It's still on sale because they decided to keep doing it indefinitely.
My birthday is coming up.
Let's see. I'm not fast at assembly.
I am.
You get $150. That's quite a lot, but I mean, that's about the same price as it is here in Sweden with the added, the added expense of not being from the US.
What's the piece count on it?
1969 is the piece count.
Yeah, that's about right then. You're looking at about 10 cents a piece.
Yeah, it's the cheapest it's ever been. And yes, they did deliberately do it so that it was 1969, the year that Apollo 11 launched.
Yeah, the last Lego set I got was the diner, the 60s diner.
Oh yeah. I think you may have shown that one to me.
Yeah, I have the whole street. It's
Ah.
yeah. If you're gonna get into Lego, like, if you're planning on getting into Lego sort of now, get some of the more recent modular buildings. The Assembly Square. Not.
Oh wow, they're going straight to the next one. If you can see the big dark thing here, they showed the two pieces I'm about to use actually lying on a carpet because they specifically want you to use like a carpet or something. Probably because their pieces are very easy to break.
Yeah, Nerd Cubed did do a series where he showed all off. Yeah, the backdrop that he uses for his toy videos, that's them.
My God. 5 of those boys. Okay. How are you doing, chat? Sweden is cool. In the Netherlands, everything is cheap. And yes, it is definitely significantly less hot here now. Hello, Space Can. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's colder in the UK as well, which is nice.
That's
Though I
good.
did spend
I heard
a week and
it
a half
rained
in the
again.
Mediterranean.
It rained today. Finally. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, they are different.
It was really, really hot in the UK, and then I went on holiday for 11 days, and in that time it was like just torrential thunderstorms and then really hot again.
We had the same. Yeah, it was getting up to like 34 here, and I heard like almost 40 in the UK.
Oof. I mean, it was about that in Venice.
Yeah, that's Venice.
I was in Venice when it was like 40.
When I was in Venice, we had torrential downpour, and then everything flooded. to get through St. Mark's Square, you had to like walk on these like tables. These are weird, like it was really weird.
Apparently, do you know opposite St Mark's Square, there's that other island,
Yeah.
like the big church on there.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, in July, like the second week of July or something, they get a load of pontoons and string them all together so you can walk from St Mark's Square to that other island because they do a big like festival thing there and have a fireworks show.
Ah. Okay.
It's like for a week. It's just like, and the canal's quite wide. That is the Grand Canal. It must be great.
Whoa, what? Oh god. Alright, need 4 thick boys. These ones.
Here on the North Pole it's 30 degrees Kelvin. Default.
Video idea: how to create a fort with several IKEA furniture. You do it. You do a video on how to create a fort with IKEA furniture. I make space videos. And by the way, I have decided on the idea for my next space video. And if you want a hint, it's basically me yelling about Northrop Grumman for 6 minutes. Yeah. Nah, it's not good. It's gonna be better than that, but you can. That's just a hint of what it's about.
I'm just going to check my wallet. Yeah, I do have a Northrop Grumman business card here
Oh boy.
from one of my family members.
If you ever want something to never get done, contact Grumman.
I think his, and I've also got the business card, sorry, of the place his dad works at. And his dad has an observatory in his back garden, which is a shed painted like the TARDIS. Like a functional spacecraft with several IKEA furnitures.
Oh my god. This is one of the hard ones.
That's what she
Thankfully, we have a piece of plastic attached to the back of this drill, meaning it now becomes a hammer. Beautiful.
I'm not reading that out. That's Swedish. That's your territory.
Det går långsamt för dig. It means it'll be a while for me. I think it's gonna be slow for me. It will like I'm doing it slowly. I'm not actually 100% sure because I'm bad. Okay. Go like, you know, do a lot of coordinate transformations in your head to get this thing working. Well, that's ding on the wall number 1.
Hey, just get a counter like, on top left of your screen or something.
We don't have that kind of technology here.
Ding count.
This is a space agency, not a TV broadcast center. Someone on a comment section like legitimately asked what space agency I'm with, and I told them Kerbal, and they thought it was real. Alright.
Somebody asked, why am I watching this? Why aren't you watching this? Get more people to watch this.
Why are you watching this? I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys, and I also need to get this done. So I figured, well, this is entertaining.
Yeah, took me just.
Hiyu slaps wooden objects repeatedly. Okay, 3 of those boys.
He shall make the world's longest spaceship. That would be egg-shaped.
Long egg-shaped spaceship.
How can
IKEA took me to space, question mark, exclamation mark.
Gone.
Gone wrong, gone oh whoa. Don't give Odin ideas.
How do you make something long and egg-shaped?
Or just long egg.
Would it? Have you seen that Ashens video where he reviews the egg cooker, where you like crack an egg into a tube and it makes up this like egg on a stick, and you get a long egg.
This ain't working.
Ashens Egg Master. Yeah. If you look up Ashens Egg Master.
Egg Master.
Yeah. He reviews this tube which cooks an egg into a long sausage-like shape.
Someone screenshot this, please. Why isn't it working? Oh, it worked. Okay. Sort of. Good enough. Oh, he's drifting. This is how you make IKEA furniture in space, ladies and gentlemen. I can't turn my head to read chat right now.
I got it. Long plus egg equals leg. Ah, perfect.
Oh, that's actually split. That's not good. Oh well, all in the name of science.
Egg you. Hiyu, unfortunately, you violated rule number 1 of IKEA furniture assembly law.
Rusty's on the line, he's helping out. Emotional support, right?
I'm here.
Alright. Oh. Of course it's one of those. They're like, oh no, it's this piece, not this piece. It's like two identical pieces and I used the wrong one.
I think the real question on everyone's mind is, though, how many Allen keys came with the set?
How many what?
Allen keys.
Allen keys came with
The set
the set.
that you're building.
Oh, this. There's no Allen keys in this one.
What?
And by the way, there are hex keys, not Allen keys.
How many baits here?
Oh, I used the correct ones. Cool. All right. By chance.
Use the transform tool to stretch the egg out.
Beta's here. Where is? I don't see him in chat.
Me either. Oh no, there he is.
What? Where? Is he? He's actually watching this. Why?
I scrolled up a bit.
Oh wait, he's actually commented something?
Yeah, about 20 messages up.
Oh, I would have missed it then. That was. I did not fart. I don't know what that sound was. It was from another room, another apartment. That actually was not me.
IKEA. Egg. Well, that's really gross. Was there?
Egg. They don't sell eggs. I think. Do they sell egg? Did they do like a breakfast deal or something?
There's got to be eggs in like the cake or something.
Yeah. Unless it's vegan or some shit. What are those pieces?
IKEA master race.
Is it these? No? Oh, it is these. Huh.
They should sell eggs in 6-packs. No, they should sell flat pack eggs.
What? Okay. This one.
Eggs in the meatballs. Apparently there was an egg-shaped chair at IKEA.
Ah, that's very good. Come on.
Working at IKEA was fun until I had to figure out the differences between the 10 different Heminis.
All the Heminis. Working at IKEA was fun, so you had to figure out the differences. 10 different Heminis.
I just read that.
Eggs in the meatballs.
Yeah.
That's called Scotch eggs, and I wish we had them in Sweden. It's so good.
We don't have Scotch eggs.
You don't have sausage rolls, dude. I'm missing pasties as well.
SI. S in the
Why?
chat.
Why did the console play across the road to render the other side? I know that one. I know because I've had to actually make those decisions in games, and it's like to decide how far away things should render. And you bet I wanted them to render as far away as possible. And yeah, we ended up making it very good. Don't worry. Even though it had to render everything twice. Yeah, split screen games, you have to render all geometry twice.
Oof.
This one goes in here. Now I'm going to move. Splendid. Yeah.
Oh, it sucks if you don't have hot. They are great.
They are, yeah. They're the best way of egging, in my opinion. Best method of egging. Lingon is superior to eggs. Wait, rerda. What is rerda?
Bless you.
I know lingon is a kind of berry, but rerda. I don't know.
Isn't lingon just Swedish for berry? So lingonberry is
No,
berry.
bär is Swedish for berry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
What the hell is that? Some small boy I gotta screw into this.
You're scared.
Where are they? Is this ASMR for you people? Do I have Instagram?
You have Instagram.
I avoid that stuff. Anything
Mashed
Facebook
people.
related gets a solid note from me.
Are you?
Yep.
1, do you have Instagram?
No.
2, is Churches playing?
Churches is playing.
3, it's mashed lingonberry.
Okay.
And 4, what made you like space?
What made me like space? I've got no clue. I really don't have a clue. I know why I like it now. It's because I feel a very great sense of purpose to be a part of it. What really started me was like these old Laserdisc documentaries on Columbia, the shuttle, and on the Saturn V. Also, Apollo 13 was a very formative film for me, obviously. But what really got me back into it was Gravity. Gravity is a really good film. Even if the orbital mechanics are non-existent. And even if Kessler syndrome is completely incorrectly shown. It's a very good film. And it very emotionally struck me. What the hell? I'm gonna look for these boys till the end of time, I tell you.
Do you know what got me?
Oh, I found one. No, it was. I got bamboozled. There they are.
Bamboozle.
I got him. Alright. Tack! Ni svenska vakter. Med plutonium tvingar vi dansken på knä.
I agree.
Där Danmark utskitet av kalk och vatten. Och där Sverige hugget i granit. Danska jävlar.
Yes. You have no idea. Výborně, ale kolik trespojozí George Foreman grill?
Wait, how do I turn this thing on? Alright. This is not
Oh
stable.
god. Oh no. Everyone's talking in Swedish.
Okay, this is not stable. What do they say? Dansk jävlar. Oh no, we got freaking Norwegians in here, dude. saying Norway is the best Scandinavian land. Look on those at Sweden on Twitter. They posted Norway is what happened to Norwegian is a language that occurred when a Swedish person spoke Swedish incorrectly, and that was the creation of the Norwegian language. We're from gaming. Hello, I am streaming. Yes. Come on, get in there. All right, we gotta do this one a different way. I have to do it out of view of you guys. I'm sorry, because it's gonna start spinning because of the torque of the drill if I'm not careful. Oh boy. That's not straight, like most of us.
Hey.
Okay, and then the other one. Turn it around. Do it the other side. What is a sniper's least favorite horror movie? Seth Everman is a blessing to all of us. Yes, he is. Did you see when he started going all furry on Twitter?
These videos are great.
Yes, they are. He went all furry here, and he's here in Stockholm, and he doesn't go to the fur meets.
Need to drag him along.
Why is this so difficult? My God. Oh my God. Alright, you know what? I think so too, piece of cardboard. We're gonna get the big guns out. I have a vice back here.
What is your vice?
Come on. Let me just try and get in this closet here. Haha, very funny gay jokes. I'm not gay. I am asexual.
The Norwegian language is
Nice.
invented in 1986 and the man spoke Swedish wrong.
That is correct, Alistair. That was Seth Everman on the Swedish, the official Swedish Twitter account.
Nice. A vice of knowledge?
A vice of knowledge. No, it's Vice, the media company. This is going to be very loud, actually, because it's right in the microphone. So if it's really loud and it hurts your ears, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to hear all of it.
Some facts about the Danish language. I do not understand it.
Yes, he said that too. Alright, so
Keep
which side are we
about
doing this?
gyroscopes.
Here. Gyroscopes. That's a good one. Now I'm going to make a video about telescopes next.
Ooh. I mean,
About one in particular.
hey,
And Rusty's already caught onto that. Yeah, what?
Do you want about exoplanets?
What do I want about exoplanets? That's a good idea. I should write it down. Could you write it down for me? Just send it to me on Discord or something.
Yeah, sure. I'll
Hey, Griffin Gaming. Thank you, man.
What is your favourite song?
What is my favourite song? Oh, I've got so many good ones recently. I have to say I really love Shenzhou, which is I know it's a piece of soundtrack, but it's from the Gravity soundtrack. It's so good. Song? I don't know.
I've had Music of the Night from Phantom of the Opera stuck in my head for the last few days.
Actually, Keepers of the Light by Fox and Moore is a pretty badass song. Not the old version, I don't like the new version so much. But even the new version is really good. It's just, I don't think it's as good as the original.
What is harder, assembling IKEA furniture or landing on Juno in KSP?
Landing on Juno. Well, landing on Juno is physically impossible, so I'm going to have to go with IKEA furniture.
Did you know before IKEA began to sell furniture, they had all the business?
Sorry for the sound, guys. Oh, that's dripping like a mother.
Oh, this takes me back.
I'm gonna have to get a bigger bit.
How do you make carbon at home? Just burn something.
You just burned something. What the
Do you
hell?
have a favorite star or Earth planet?
Favorite star and or non-Earth planet? My favorite star. God, I don't know. The sun's a pretty boring one.
Yeah. Banana Star is quite a fun one.
Oh my god, guys, this is. I bet we've done this one in completely. Okay. What can we do about this situation? Oh, it's not that bad.
What made you become a furry?
Well, maybe become a furry. I was in like a fan community of the His Dark Materials series of books, and a bunch of people there were furries, and I just got to know them. But then one day I was Googling pine marten images on Google Image Search, and I found some artwork of Afro martens, and I was like, this is interesting. And it was from VCL, and it was by Mark Milino, who I found out was the first furry. He started all of it. He started, I think Convergence was the original furry party thing. Well, looks like we're doing this manually, guys. Oh, this is a bad time. This is a pretty bad meme. I would not wish this meme upon anyone. Using a flathead to put in a stripped screw into an unthreaded hole in a piece of wood.
Can somebody clip that audio there?
What's wrong with the audio?
Nothing, it's just that what you said could be taken out of context.
Oh my god. Really?
Twist the gearbox on the screwdriver to drip.
Okay, that's good enough. I'm gonna find those metal filings in my foot at some point. God, I have this vice. Buying this was a blessing. Let's get the bit back in.
Does the drill have a torque setting?
It does, but this is, I don't know which way it goes actually. I could use my hands to find out.
Not get horrific flashbacks to doing angular mechanics.
Alright, let's turn that setting around and see if it actually means anything. Does not mean anything. I do not know what the setting's for. So I'm going to leave it at the default. Oh, it came out. Back in there. Right. Push the larger ring near the drill body, yeah, that works. I'm a generalist, which is just shorthand for I don't know what I'm doing. Mother of God, what next? Okay.
Don't stand on anything.
Eh?
Hiyu, carpenter of the year.
Carpenter of the year.
Jesus was a carpenter.
Jesus was a carpenter. He made tables for people. Somewhere in the world there exist tables made by one of the people who ended up being called Jesus. Because I'm convinced it was like 10 people who did cool things, and then the Romans were like, let's just consolidate this into one book for convenience.
Have you heard of the Judas twin theory?
No.
I learned this from Red Dwarf, of all places.
Wow,
There's
okay.
a theory that Judas and Jesus were twin brothers.
Oh, alright.
And that Judas took Jesus' place on the cross. Then, after the 3 days, at night, Jesus snuck into the tomb, gave the twin brother a burial, and then appeared to re-emerge.
Oh. Yeah, but wouldn't the people caught on that they were twin brothers?
And I don't know. Yeah, it explains a lot about how he did his miracles and stuff.
If you guys can hear running water, that's my boyfriend's using the shower. If that's really annoying, I'm sorry. How bad is it? Because you can hear it, can't you, Rusty?
I haven't got in the Discord. It's fine. Yeah.
Alright. Jackson Furry asks, do you believe in God? I worked in a church for about 9 years, in a cathedral actually. Yeah, I don't think really anyone believed very strongly. But no, I don't anymore. It's, wishful thinking doesn't get rockets into space.
Can I answer that question with a question?
Sure.
Which one?
Which one?
Yeah, so do you believe in God? Which one?
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Apparently the shower isn't too bad. Kind of soothing.
It's kind of soothing. That's good to hear. Speaking of soothing, okay. Can we get on to the topic about ASMR just quickly? Because that stuff, like, it actually raises panic and anxiety in me when I hear it.
Why? What inspired you to become a YouTuber?
And those go in there. Oh wow, I almost messed up. Alright, I see how this works. My alarm is going off. Now I'm back.
That's
You make ASMR makes you less dramatic. What inspired you to become a YouTuber? Alright, I want to set things straight. You don't need inspiration to be a YouTuber. Like, you just make something you put on the internet. Really. Like, I mean, I was making tutorials as Weasel level design since a really long time ago. Because I want to teach people, you know? Like, you learn things, you want to teach them to people you know, and just... People asking me questions constantly about how to do X, Y, Z in the Source engine, in the Hammer level editor. And I just got fed up and made videos. But what inspired me to do the whole space thing is that a lot of people are really interested in space, but they don't know where to start. So I figured if I just made something that drew them in and immediately made them start at a place, they would have started. And it's that kind of thing that I really live for. Hiyu is 467 years old. No, I am 24. Bob Ross and spray painting relaxes you. Yeah, that stuff's probably quite nice. Singing bowls. Why do sweets always drink their milk in the store? Because on the packet it says Optimus High. Anime call. Anime people.
This is popular.
He asked if he could call in 5 minutes, and then I didn't respond, so he just called. I look cute. You like my beanie? It is a good beanie.
But you know what I like more than beanies?
Yeah.
Knowledge.
In my garage.
Wearing my brand new beanie.
In my brand new beanie. Wait, what? I don't understand.
Do you have a second favorite animal?
Do you have a second favorite animal? Hmm.
Maple.
It's kind of think some kind of bird actually.
Those are cool.
Because ferrets and martins are very similar, so it's not exactly like it's a different animal that much. I would choose ferrets, otherwise. Oh, otters! Asian small clawed otter, second favorite animal.
Hey, I have an Asian small.
Y'all can ask space questions if you want, and we can answer them. We got an astrophysicist on the line, and you got me, unqualified game developer here.
Well, you say astrophysicist.
Are you going to tell me you've been studying astrology all this time?
I'm not even going to dignify that.
That seems to work. People are just spamming emojis in chat. Are you a mod, Rusty?
A mod?
In my chat?
I don't know. I don't think I am, because my YouTube username is my like really old username that I don't use anymore.
Do you want to be a mod with that username?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Once I can find out how to do it, participants. There we go. What you?
I would. Can I type it to you?
I think I need to. I think I need to actually like. You need to type something in chat in order for me to make you a mod.
All right.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
X43 hypersonic scramjet nose and special alerts are both made from carbon because it can withstand super high heat because it acts as a heat sink. Okay. Do I like space pictures? Of course I do. What do you think of the mission to the sun? Very good. Sun is important. Mission to sun, very good.
Yes, we like sun. Sun good.
Very difficult as well. Oh my god, okay. Oh god, do we even get into this? So the rocket that launched the Parker Solar Probe is a Delta IV Heavy rocket, and it's not as powerful as the Falcon Heavy. It is more efficient, but that doesn't mean anything if it just doesn't have as much overall capability. You know, the Falcon Heavy's numbers are simply larger. Like, how it gets to that number doesn't matter, it's a bigger number. But the CEO of the company that makes the Delta rocket, his name is Tory Bruno. He's a great guy, but he was saying that his rocket was more powerful than Falcon Heavy on Twitter. And like, I tried to correct him, but he and I got into a little bit of an argument over that. But I think he knows that I think he knows the truth. I think he thinks he's not allowed to be seen accepting that it's not as powerful as Falcon Heavy. How fast is the space station? Orbital velocity. It goes about, how fast? Like 3 kilometers a second? 3.5 kilometers a second or something?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I know in miles per hour, but I'm strict about not ever giving imperial units.
The worst thing that I found is that the units is that British people give their weight in stone. Literally no other country understands that.
Yeah, I never understood stone, and I never, like, in the South, we used to use stone as kids, but no one used it after that. What water shortage, Victor? There is no water shortage, shush.
There isn't a water shortage, or at least in the UK, because there's like, the reservoirs are about 80% full. It's just the companies were worried about there being a continued drought, rather than having run out of water already.
By metric only tools made in the USA, they're always wrong. Huh. Okay.
Have you gotten around to playing Planetary yet?
What?
Have you got around to playing Interplanetary yet?
No. What is this? Please.
Hiyu, are you on Twitter? Yes, yes he is.
My God. What has happened here? Ah, that's hot. My God. I'm covered in iron. I'm on Twitter. Yes, Hiyu Martin. Martin is an E. Marten.
Like that.
I don't understand. My bed is fine. Oh, the drill is stripped. Screw is stripped. Right. It is, yeah, it's ruined. That's okay, we have more.
Are you? Friction equals heat.
Friction is heat, yes.
I think you're being told to remember that, because it's hot.
Funny fact though, on re-entry, when spacecraft get hot, it is not because of friction. It is because all the air in front of them is getting compressed in a small space because of how fast they go. And when it gets compressed, it gets hot. Am I just really bad at this? Or are these screws just getting worse?
Because I think
No, the screws are just getting worse.
spacecraft
Ugh.
Those tomatoes break in Spain.
I don't know. Do I know Cillian? Yeah, we're friends. I was on his stream just a couple days ago. The IKEA gods strike again. We have one screw left here, so I'm not going to put it in the same one because obviously that's a bad one. Am I just using the wrong bit for this? No, it's going in. That worked out. Bumpy, but it worked. Yeah, solid enough. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. What next? Okay.
Do you have the drill going inwards, not outwards?
Yeah, I have the drill going the right way. What's your most oh shit moment if you're comfortable sharing? I'll think about it.
Yes, I see the robot face too.
It has a robot face? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I may have to move it because it's getting in the way of chat sometimes.
Quick, somebody think of the name for the robot.
It's a gimbal device, which is really cool. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, the drone boy is his name. I called him boy. The drone is on his way to being repaired as we speak.
Do you have a favorite star?
I keep getting asked that. I don't know what star's my favorite.
No, but I know some interesting stars.
I mean, the Bubble Nebula is my favorite object because it's cool. You know, it's a big bolo boy. Someone told you to post something down here. You failed. You posted something quite interesting. Oh,
Places and objects. I mean,
what is the effect? Faces inanimate objects.
Paradolia.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There you go.
So I'm gonna try this over. Oh, like this. Okay.
Do you enjoy answering my questions? Not to be rude or anything.
Yeah, questions are fun.
Does anybody have any space? Like deep space questions? Deep space?
Like, I'm 14 years old and this is deep space?
Deep space one. What's your favourite food that you can eat in space?
Oh. Spaghetti, I guess. Because it's very easy, surprisingly. Everything else kind of falls apart, but spaghetti holds together really well. Am I having fun? Surprisingly, yes. Thank you, Captain Trash Can. Are you a raccoon by any chance? Sorry, I haven't looked into that. Because that would make sense from your name. No offense to raccoons, it's just a...
Oh god, oh dear. How do we feel about galaxy clusters? They're great, I had to write a lab report on them. Does gravity have speed? Yes.
It travels at the speed of light.
Yes.
And we know this because we've seen it travel at the speed of, well, we've seen light travel slower than gravity, kind of. Recently there was an observation of two neutron stars colliding, and what happened was we saw the gravitational waves, the LIGO and the Virgo detectors in the US and in Europe saw the gravitational waves before we saw it in light occurring with telescopes. There's quite a long delay between the two occurring because light has to go through other objects and stuff and be wiggled around, and it's always traveling at the speed of light, but space isn't necessarily straight between us and them, and also there's a lot of crap in between. So it kind of bounces around a bit, but I assume that's why we had such a big difference in why we saw both of them. But gravity propagates at the speed of light in waves, which also means that everything loses a little bit of gravity over time, which is a bit weird.
Well, another thing about those detectors, they are basically mile-long Nichols-Morley interferometers. Interferometers, which were an experiment to try and find the ether, because this was late 19th, 20th century, about 1890, I think. And the general consensus was that there was this thing called the ether, which light traveled through because it needed a medium, like sound waves need air to travel through. And so they did this experiment to try and work out what the density or the makeup of the ether was. And they did this experiment and got absolutely zero data out of it. And then were like, oh, what if there is no ether? And then that basically was one of the catalysts of the quantum revolution. And yet we use the exact same techniques for discovering gravitational waves 100 plus years later.
My God.
What is the furthest you think humans will travel in the next century?
Century?
Yeah.
Not very far. I mean, I'm pretty sure humans will be going, between Venus and the asteroid belt within a century, possibly. But I don't think we'd be very interested in anything beyond that. Simply because there's so much to do here. If we're talking about probes and stuff, though, and by the next century, we'd definitely be an interstellar probe species.
Yes,
Definitely. I mean, they're already doing the tests for interstellar stuff right now.
I think we should do more Europa and Enceladus research.
Oh god, we do, yeah. And Ganymede, I think, as well. I think
Ganymede?
there is another water one as well. There's three of them.
Titan?
No, Titan's
Triton?
Titan's not water. It's
Just pulling moons out of...
Titan's made of rocket fuel.
What do you know about the Hercules Wall?
I don't know about the Hercules Wall.
The Hercules Wall goes across the thinnest part of northern England. It separated the Romans from the Scots.
Oh wait, is it that really lame wall?
That's Hadrian's Wall.
Europa doesn't just have water ice, it has water. And I think it's Enceladus that they confirmed there's sub-sea volcanism as well. They actually have like little, sort of, what are they called? Hydrothermal vents at the bottom of the sea on Enceladus, which is exactly where life started on Earth. Because you need a source of heat and energy, you need all the right materials and stuff, and you need a way that they can all flow together. And that's the perfect environment for that. So we're like really sure there's got to be life on Enceladus. But, or Europa, either of the two, they both have this stuff. It's just a case of like trying to figure out how to get through the ice. We're thinking maybe like a double hacksaw strategy could work, surprisingly. Yeah. You are indeed a raccoon, Captain Trash Can. Awesome. IKEA and geeking out about space stuff. Good stream content.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Europa is an ice shell that's all cracked, sitting on a water underneath. So the ice is really, I can't remember how thick, but it's just a big shell of like an egg.
Egg. Of course, the issue with ice out there is that it's so cold out at that distance from the sun. Ice there is rock. It's the same. It's basically the same as rock, the way that it acts. And in some places, water is the same as lava, by comparison. Like at different levels of heat, you have different kinds of planets where the lava is a different material. Titan, for example, is really cold, and that has methane lakes and solid methane crust. So that is actually made of even colder stuff than water. So it has a different kind of rock and a different kind of water, as you will, to Earth. Then you have the planet with raining and sideways falling glass. Yeah, we call it Glasgow.
Do you have a favourite inner planet?
I have a favourite inner planet.
I mean, I'd go for Earth.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's very nice. Earth is
Could
animals.
you use magnetic fields to gather space junk?
No, because gravity is always going to be stronger.
Also, magnetic fields drop off very quickly.
What you can use a magnetic field for is shielding Mars from the sun, meaning that you'd have a much better time not getting cancer on the surface of Mars. The whole atmosphere thing would take millions of years, but you'd be shielding humans and animals on Mars from dangerous solar wind and cosmic rays and stuff. You only need about one MRI machine's worth of power to generate a magnetic field at a point between the sun and Mars. A stable point called the Lagrange point. and you would shield Mars from the sun's nastiness. Pro only needs to be about, I don't know, like that big with massive solar panels. The ISS already produces more power than it would need.
Lagrange, there are 5 of them for each planet
Yeah.
and the sun, and they are the points at which the gravitational attraction between the two cancels out. So there's one between the sun and the Earth, one behind the Earth, one behind the sun, and then 2 off to the sides. And they're called L1 through L5. And then there's ones for each planet at different distances. How do solar sails work? I thought photons have no mass.
They don't have mass, but they do have inertial mass.
They have momentum.
Yeah, they have momentum to them. I don't know why. I'm not the one to ask. You need a physicist for that.
Right. So the problem with photons is that the energy that we think of on Earth is non-relativistic, which is just an approximation of the relativistic version. So you know the classic E equals mc squared Einstein equation. That's not the full one. The full one is E squared equals m squared c to the 4 plus p squared c squared or something, which says that total energy of something is its non-relativistic momentum squared. Well, the squared energy is the non-relativistic energy squared plus some relativistic energy. And that P is the momentum of the particle or whatever. And because of light particle or wave particle duality, light is a particle, so it has a wavelength and all that, and it can have a momentum. It's weird, but because of weird relativistic timey-wimey stuff, you can have a momentum without mass because relativity.
We have our first mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to solve it with Clamling force. And use the vice. I'm going to pull this baby out.
Look at electrons. Now, electrons do have mass. That's the thing. It's a tiny, tiny bit of mass, like 10 to the minus 31 kilograms. But they have mass.
Oh boy.
Also, I'm sorry if you got confused with my explanation of why photons have momentum there. It wasn't the greatest.
You would go to the Mars, you'd study the ice there. What would I do? I'd do whatever it took to help out.
What do you think of black holes? They're not
big.
black and they're not holes. Black holes are cool. Yeah. I mean, black holes were theorized before they were discovered. And then people discovered them and were like, oh, well, these are pretty cool. Yeah. What is exotic matter? If you know, please tell me.
William, the car of the future will be powered by hydrogen, batteries, the sun, wind. Well, not hydrogen, that's for certain. This isn't working. I'm going to damage the device.
Eventually fusion, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, well, the car of the future, batteries, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we are getting to the point now where batteries and processors are becoming so small and efficient that we're reaching the quantum limit of what we can do with them. So the progress of battery size and battery limits is actually going to slow for the next few years. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. Because with an exponential, we've got exponential growth in technology, But our power situation is starting to plateau.
Well, I mean, that's with the current battery tech, you know. You can only make the current battery tech lithium cobalt stuff so good.
Do you think it's possible to travel through black holes?
I don't know. We don't know.
If you know, please answer on a postcard.
If you know, you're probably going to be a very rich person.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a solar or lunar eclipse?
Where's that? I don't see that one.
I have not,
seen it.
because every time I go to see it, it's cloudy.
I've seen both, but I have also had occasions where it was too cloudy.
I've experienced one. The last biggest total solar eclipse we had was in the UK. It was 2015. Big one. And I was like right over like totality. But it was way too cloudy. It was like 8/8 cloudy. But it got significantly darker. It was really weird. The birds went mental.
Yeah, they don't like that one bit. I've seen one when I was very young. I saw a total solar eclipse. It was very strange. But not very strange if you think about it.
What about the spaghettification theory?
Spaghettification, I mean, it's not a... So, colloquially, which means, you know, the way people generally say things, people think the word theory means, oh, you just kind of thought about this a little bit, but it's not fact. But in science, theory is a really strong word. You don't use that word unless you really mean it. Because a hypothesis is something someone came up with. A theory is something that's been proven and proven and proven and proven. That really needs to be really looked into very, very hard if you want to try and debunk it. Well, not debunk, but, you know, do something better. With spaghettification, basically what happens is, if you have a really strong source of gravity and you have a very large object that's getting close to it, what happens is, say if it's you're going feet first into a black hole. Your feet are closer to the gravity well than your head is. So they will feel more gravity than your head does. And as you approach the black hole, your feet will get pulled away from you faster than your head gets pulled in. So you'll start to get longer. And it'll be you'll break up essentially into pieces. This is what happens to a lot of asteroids and moons that get too close to their parent planet, is that the closer edge of the moon is too much closer to the planet than the outside edge. And so the whole thing kind of just sort of, you know, it's only held together by its own gravity. So if there's a stronger source of gravity nearby, it'll just get ripped into a ring.
It's like centrifuging something. But not quite.
Did I miss something? This is just free floating. It is. Oh. Alright.
Do you know the Feynman hypothesis for electrons?
The Feynman one? No.
Yeah. I think it was electrons. Was it photons?
Maybe I need more of space here.
He hypothesized that there is only one electron in the entire universe. It just keeps travelling backwards and forwards in time, passing through existence every possible moment that it needs to be.
That's a bit exaggerated, but...
It is completely insane, but I love it.
The universe is a really weird place where if you do something, like, if a thing happens, it doesn't happen because it was caused by something. It just happens to be that the universe lines up for it to occur the way it does. Like, cause and effect is not really a thing. It's really... People should not think about this because it messes up everything that our existence is based on. Have you seen the timeline in real life now?
You start getting into causality and special relativity and why certain things are linked and other things aren't. And... Have you seen a pine marten IRL?
I have not, no. I've actually... Okay, I was walking along it's pretty morbid. I was walking along a trail here in Sweden. I found just the paw of a pine marten. but there was no blood. There was no. It just looked like fluff. So I think it's like someone had a charm or something, and dropped it at their car or something. That was very odd to see.
I've seen Hiyu.
Do you think it's possible there are underground lakes in Mars? What do you mean possible? We found one just now. The European scientists just found a underground water lake on Mars. They're very certain it's water. They're not sure what kind. It's probably kind of... Someone has terrible brakes. It's probably some kind of like crappy, briny mess of dust and mud and stuff, but it's water.
It's possible to make a glass fall down and break, then for it to fall back up and get back together and become whole again. The chances are close to impossible. No, it's not, because dropping of the glass and it breaking are causally linked, which means that you can't swap the order of the events. The dropping has to come before the breaking. You can't. The glass can't break and then you drop it. So.
If it was an IKEA glass, don't worry, because they are so cheap.
Yeah, the 50p for a glass tumbler. Pro tip: get them. Really good. It's entirely possible that at any given moment, a pink elephant could appear in the corner of your room, and you wouldn't notice, and then it just instantly disappear because of quantum tunneling.
I have a favorite tea. I love Twining's Earl Grey, because it's just really good. And I love putting like a foamy, what's it called, like milk foam, you know, like latte milk into it, and making that kind of drink with a bunch of sugar. It's really awesome. Here it's called a London fog. Hi, I recorded solar eclipse 2017. Here is the solar cell. I also recorded the signal from WWDB 60 kilohertz at the same time. Results are interesting. Okay.
Wait, you put milk and sugar in Earl Grey?
Yes, and it's good.
You monster.
I'm sorry, at least it's Twinings.
Yeah, I'll give you that. As every tea drinker should know, the only thing that is in Earl Grey is lemon.
Shush.
I don't drink Earl Grey.
It's fine. Okay.
I had orange flavoured tea on holiday. It was Twinings. Yeah, orange flavoured tea is a bit weird. Coffee is not better.
This is a lot of exertion, getting up and down this many times.
What is one of those? Pastgmust?
Postgmust.
Thank you.
Where is that mentioned?
Space Can, Sips 1.
Oh, it's a bit late for Postgmust. Post is Easter, and Mist is fucking. It's like I mean, in reality, it's like this sort of soda-like drink, but I don't know what it actually means. I don't think anyone does. Favorite fruit? Melon. Watermelon is amazing. I actually ate way too much of it before getting into the street. I found a good place that sells it.
I really want to go and get a square watermelon from Japan.
Oh yes, the Minecraft watermelons.
I don't know why, but I have this weird obsession with square watermelons.
They're perfect.
It's great. Like, it's a great. It's watermelon. Watermelon is a good fruit, but it's in cube form. You can stack them.
Oh my god, you're right.
You can build a house out of square watermelons. I know they're not special, but I just love them. They're great. Favorite vegetable?
Vegetable. God dang it. We're in Super Mario Ice Skates. I'm in Stockholm. I go to the Stockholm Fur meetups. Yeah, if you're in Stockholm and you're a furry, if you feel comfortable doing so, do come to the Stockholm Furry Fika. Which fika is the Swedish word for like coffee time.
I would like to go to Sweden.
I took a random Texan normie to one of them and he really liked it. Because like you just get to meet so many people. Scream. The drill scream at own ass. You're in small land, so you can't. Södermalm or Östermalm? Well, I'm. The Furry Fika is on Normal. No, Gamla Stan. It's in Gamla Stan. I work in Södermalm, but I live up north of Stockholm.
Up to north.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. All right.
I feel this stream Hiyu just slowly descending into madness.
It started off so well. We've already had several mess ups. And the voice looks like a robot.
It's going to be like that scene from The Simpsons where Homer's building the barbecue. That's one fine looking barbecue. Why doesn't mine look like that?
There we go. Alright. Get together now.
Don't box yourself in.
Okay, you can make sure that when I hit the other side, that side doesn't pop out. Cool. This is going to be a work test. It's going to be pretty dope. 5 of the big boys. 1, 2.
Have you ever seen High School Musical?
High School Musical? No.
What? Blasphemy.
What was the price of it? I don't know. It was quite a lot, but it's also very, very solid. Well, if I build it right, anyway. Yeah, we decided not to go with the cheap stuff. Well, not with the most cheap stuff this time. Alright, I see. There's one there. One here. This is going to be built by the end of the stream, one way or another. Get that. There we go. And 3 over there.
Could you vaporize space junk if you make a giant laser with 2 100-meter mirrors and have the junk between them?
What?
What a question.
They do put them in numbered boxes when there's multiple boxes tracked out. Okay. What is it? Could you vaporize space junk if you made a giant laser cavity with 100-meter mirrors and have the junk between them? Then you would just end up with more space junk. There's
Also
little tiny particles
mirror.
of space junk that result from that. There will still be some. They will end up being more deadly.
Also, making a 100-meter mirror would be quite a feat.
They've done kind of similar things already. The US military, don't underestimate them. They did a thing called Project Orion. Not the first one and not the current one, but the middle one. The first one was powering a spacecraft using nuclear bombs. The current one is a spacecraft built for deep space travel. But the middle one was a project to put massive radio dishes in space. And it worked. Okay.
What is the maximum weight you could carry with you on space travel?
Maximum weight. It's about to change actually because of the commercial crew. But it's not very much. It's like, I don't know, I imagine 5 kilos is pushing it. I'd say close to like 2 kilos of stuff to carry with you.
And then it's the $40 for every kilo over.
Huh? Oh. I don't think there is kilo over. Someone asked me, can you become an astronaut if you have dyslexia? I don't know. It depends. Like, you know, you couldn't become an astronaut if you smelled wrong back in the 60s. But these days, we're going to need a hell of a lot of astronauts pretty soon. And they'll have to be more forgiving with the medical stuff. Obviously, like, someone like me, for example, I would not be the first to be chosen. I'd be a special case where I needed to go only for a certain amount of time to something like Mars, because I do have this kidney thing. Eventually, I'm going to need replacements for these boys, and you know that's going to be in like 45, 50 years. So I can't be on Mars for that long because we're not going to have the best medical access on Mars, even in that timescale. So, and even then, like, if things start going wrong with my kidneys between now and then, I'd imagine they would rather not have me there for very long, which is fine by me. I mean, I just want to help out.
My problem would be that I'm quite tall.
They'd be fine. You're not flying in Soyuz. Yeah, there are actually a lot of astronauts who are really hyped to fly on the Russian Soyuz spacecraft to get to the ISS, only to try and get in it and realize they were too tall. And they couldn't fly. It's really sad. It's such a tiny spacecraft. You could fit 2 of them in my bedroom.
It's like, I'm 6'4", which is about 195 in metric. And most space stations only want people up to 6'3", and even that's pushing it. For comparison, a dolphin is 6'6", or 2 meters. So
Yeah, Rusty's a monster.
no, I'm just leggy.
Leggy. Yeah, he's also a maned wolf. A leggy boy.
195.
Because I'm a pine martin, so I'm an eggy boy.
Eggy and leggy.
Well, pushing the space junk in the atmosphere via photonic propulsion. Yeah, you could do that if you got it at the right angle. Problem is, the worst space junk will be out at sort of mid-orbit and at geostationary orbit. That's where the worst space junk's going to be. So like mid-level orbits like the Iridium satellites, and then the higher up orbits where you got your comsats and TV sats. So you'll end up not being able to really get the ones that are that far out. You can't get ones in geostationary orbit down using that method because, I mean, you kind of could. Not really. Because you'd have to be, on a specific point on Earth where you could push it backwards in its orbit, ever so slightly, and even that takes freaking forever using that method. So And also, they're really far away. You need a really powerful laser. I don't think people really want you pointing that in the sky. So, the best way to do it is robotically. Have a bunch of probes which are really smart, know how to take out space debris. Another issue is that the space debris is spinning like mad, a lot of it is. So, you need to figure out a way of containing it and stopping it spinning, and at the same time, not hitting it and producing more space junk. If it's spinning, then the more things you smack off of it, the faster it spins as well. Wait, no, that's not right. That is not how that works. Never mind.
The small bits will spin fast. Conservation of angular momentum. The small bits will spin really fast.
Yeah, the small bits will. No, they'll all spin at the same rate because the mass distribution isn't changing. The mass itself is changing. It is different.
Well, it depends how you look at it, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Generally, you would slow it down, but you'd also make it fall apart. See, the nastiest stuff is like little paint chips that fall off, because those are really devastating. Obviously, the space station is built like a tank in order to take this stuff, but you don't want to have to build things even crazier than the space station.
I just had a thought. What would happen if you took a vacuum cleaner up to space and turned it on?
Well, what would happen is the fan in the vacuum cleaner would start spinning too fast and overheat. That's what would happen.
Wouldn't it be cool if the vacuum cleaner exploded?
I don't think you'd see much. It would just kind of like with thunk, and then maybe a piece of fan might fly out the back, but that's about it. It's very underwhelming.
The vacuum cleaner disintegrates. I've taken it apart a microwave. I've taken it apart a washing machine, but I haven't taken it apart a vacuum cleaner.
Microwaves are always really dangerous to take apart.
Oh, this was unplugged and old microwave.
And yeah, Nolan Wolf, they are thinking about some kind of net, some kind of bag or something. How about if you took an air compressor into space and turned it on? Same problem. You just overheat it. You just spin too quickly. Actually, that's a real problem with rocket engines. If you completely run out of fuel in a rocket, like all the way, dry, there's going to be no more fuel going into the turbine that drives the pumps, because the fuel first goes into a turbine. It's sort of a mini rocket engine that shoots a bunch of gas out, which then spins the pumps to power the big rocket engine. And if there's no more fuel going into that turbine wheel is going to start spinning really fast, and it'll just fall apart, and like a jet engine falling apart, the blades will just go everywhere. So there are videos of rocket engines exploding when they run out of fuel, or something in the fuel line fails, and they just go. It kind of makes this weird sound, like a noise.
Like a drill.
If you want to hear a really good rocket engine turbine noise, though, look up the Rutherford engines by Rocket Lab, because they are motor powered, they're battery powered. It's a small enough rocket that they can actually get away with electrically powering the turbines, the pumps. They don't have turbines. So they just kind of spin up like, and then it goes. Right. Next procedure. Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh yes.
This isn't even like connected. Should it? Should there be some kind of connection in there? Surely. No, it's just flat.
They should and don't call it enemy.
Oh, I'm not so sure about this. Well, we're gonna see. So, like this. We need 12 of the big guy.
The big boys.
Yes, Reno is very funny. Yeah, the big boys. Yep, space does not remove heat easily at all. In fact, it doesn't remove any heat. You kind of just lose heat slowly.
Infrared radiation removes heat pretty slowly. Just got flashbacks to me old physics GCSE.
Oh yeah?
Um,
Physics GCSE was so easy.
the first part of my physics was heat transfer.
Yeah.
And we did it right at the end of the year and because the teacher was out doing other things. We had it supplied a few notes. I think we did the same 3 pages in the textbook 4 times.
Oh.
And it was to the point where we could just quote them verbatim.
Damn.
I love that misconception about you'd freeze to death and explode in space when you'd actually boil to death.
Sort of. I mean, really, you just kind of implode. Like, has anyone here played Elite Dangerous? Of course! Yes! I am Commander Hiyu. I'm also Commander Frisky Weasel. That is my other username. I wanted to be an Eagle pilot and turn up on Anacondas asking for 25 cargo. Spoiler alert, the Eagle can't carry 25 cargo. But I wanted to be like this really hot-headed guy called Frisky Weasel. Turns out I decided to be a fuel rat instead, and I rescued like 250 people or something. This one? That really does not feel stable. They're really sure about this. There is nothing holding that together. They really
Going back to the death in space. I like topic, I know. There's a quote in episode 3, 4 of season 10 of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
About death in space.
All right.
Yeah. So the Doctor is doing this lecture in front of an audience at a university. And he goes, "So how does space kill you? I'm glad you asked. The main problem is pressure. There isn't any. So don't hold your breath or your lungs will explode. Blood vessels rupture, exposed areas swell. Fun fact, the boiling temperature of water is much lower in a vacuum, which means that your sweat and your saliva will boil, as will the fluid around your eyes. You won't notice any of this because 15 seconds in, you've passed out as oxygen bubbles form in your blood, and 90 seconds in, you're dead. Any questions?"
Yeah.
Of course, with more sort of grandeur. And then so, what does this have to do with crop rotation?
I think I've seen that one. Like he randomly turns up to some class or something and gives this lecture about.
Well,
Yeah.
He becomes a lecturer at university because he has to guard something underneath it. So he starts lecturing pretty much everything. Could you make a hole-in-one from the moon to the Earth with a heat-proof golf ball?
I mean, theoretically it's possible. There is a trajectory you could take it from.
Yeah.
With a certain speed. with the golf ball standing up. Because okay, here's the thing: you would need to slowly accelerate the golf ball, otherwise it would just, if you hit it hard enough with the golf club to get it to the earth, it would just kind of crack open. You would not have a very good time with that golf ball. You wouldn't aim it at the earth, obviously. You would aim it backwards in the moon's orbit, so it fell into the earth. And you'd have to hit it at the same speed that the moon moves around the earth, but in the opposite direction, to cancel out the moon's velocity around the earth, so that it falls down. And then you would have to account for the fact that it gets tossed around by wind. Okay, you probably couldn't do it because of upper level winds in the atmosphere and stuff like that. It would fly around, and if you knew the starting conditions perfectly and you had a perfect shot, you could do it. But the universe is too chaotic.
So theoretically, yes. Practically, probably not.
Practically never. We will never know everything about the starting conditions. Chaos theory is too strong.
First Doctor is best Doctor. I disagree. It's David Tennant.
Jack Frost is going.
What if we use flex tape to capture all the space junk? I mean, space junk drops to 0.
No, we could totally use flex tape. I mean, up there is a lot of damage. Flex tape! Oh my god! This is one of the prickliest, heaviest surfboards I've ever seen. Alright.
That's what she said.
What?
What?
I see how this works now. I don't like this.
You broke the magic, fix it with flex tape.
Oh my god. Okay.
Doctor is best
It's telling me to put this together with 2 people, but I am 1 people. So, yep. Oh, this is so light.
How accurate is the film Gravity?
How accurate is Gravity, the film? Nothing. Visually, it's very accurate. Actually, the Earth is sharper in that film than it is in reality. It looks nicer than in reality in places. But in terms of orbits and stuff, no.
Something I can't read.
Godmorgon, är du riktigt vaken än? Godmorgon, har du sett något glatt i tidningen? I don't speak that much Swedish. I'll attempt to look at that and translate.
To show you the power of flex tape, I saw this martyred in half.
Oh no, that's some magic trick shit right there.
How accurate is
Galat. What is galat in Swedish? How accurate is Interstellar? Well, apart from the weird end part, it's pretty accurate. Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking about how everything is accurate or inaccurate. People think the universe don't be like it is, but it do.
Amazing. Fundamental particles. This sand is made of stardust.
Stars and the universe out by the rings of Saturn. Stardust.
Amazing.
I've seen him in real life. He gave a lecture. He's awesome. Professor Brian Cox, for anyone who doesn't know. He's awesome.
Yeah. He's a lecturer at Manchester University in the UK. And there's this thing called Brian Cox effect, which is people go into universities because of the famous lecturers there.
Oh, right.
So when Brian Cox became famous for being on TV and all that, the number of applicants to physics at Manchester, or I think just in Manchester in general, grew massively.
Whoa.
And
The real place to be at is
loads of
Nottingham, because you got Brady.
And he lectures, I think it's third year module of stars.
Oh yeah.
And you have to have tickets to go to his lectures because people try to sneak in.
Oh wow.
So you have to prove that you're meant to be there for these tickets.
Yes. That's crazy.
It's insane. Like, meanwhile, I was lectured by the guy who literally wrote the book on phonon.
On what?
Phonons.
Phonons.
It's like a pseudo particle. It's like a photon but for sound waves.
Oh.
It's used in condensed matter and like subatomic physics,
Right.
crystal physics and stuff. Yeah, and one of my lecturers literally wrote the book on it.
Ah. Holy hell.
When will we have astronauts? Astrid in space? No.
There is no desire to take cats to space. I do wonder if the Soviets did launch any cats, did they?
I just had a Google. Nothing.
What was that?
I just did a quick Google and nothing.
Ah. There is no great desire to take cats to space. Because, I think all the big studies that people did in the past were all sort of behavioral, like, how do people react? What kind of things does the body do? Cats don't really react.
Oh, here we go. The limited supply of captured German V-2 rockets led the US to the US's use of high-altitude balloon launches carrying, amongst others, cats.
Wow. Balloons, eh?
On the 18th of October 1963, France launched Felicite the cat aboard Veronique AGI sounding rocket number 47.
Oh, that's a lot of G's.
Felicite was recovered alive after a 15-minute flight and descent by parachute. Felicite's electrodes implanted into her brain, and the recorded neural impulses were transmitted back to Earth. A second cat was sent into space by Surma on the 24th of October 1963, but the flight ran into difficulties that prevented recovery.
Wow.
Yeah, so there have only been 2 cats in space. So, when will we have cats in space? The answer, 18th of October 1963.
And only briefly.
For 15 minutes.
Well, not in space for 15 minutes.
Well,
You can fly a cat on a Blue Origin rocket if you really want to.
how accurate is the game Alien Isolation?
There's no aliens in real life, as far as we know. Well, not in this solar system. They may have been here briefly, but they just left.
Fermi paradox.
So the thing with Drake's equation and the Fermi paradox, if you guys know about that, basically, where are the aliens? Some people recently modeled that. So it has a bunch of bullshit equations in it, basically saying, these are all the things that you need to have life, and this is how often we would expect to see life, so why isn't there life? One way of looking at it is actually as a set of unknowns. Each of those variables that we put into that, in terms of like where do we expect to see life? Distance from star, habitability, things like that. All of those variables have some uncertainty to them. So if we actually just put in the uncertainty ranges into those, we get this range of how likely it is, like what's the maximum likelihood of there being intelligent life in the galaxy versus the minimum likelihood. And if you take all of that and you look at what the general likelihood is, it's kind of like a pretty big chance that we're the only intelligent species in this galaxy, which isn't so bad. I mean, it's a pretty nice galaxy, and we could, take over this galaxy. That'd be kind of cool. I want my Elite Dangerous future, goddammit. Glory to the Empire.
The problem is that with our current technology, we use electromagnetic radiation as communication. And we assume that other alien life forms will also decide to use electromagnetic radiation as communication. So, and also, if you think about it, we've only been sending out electromagnetic waves into space for the last 100 years. The start of radio, the other one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And telegraph stuff. So we've only got 100 years out of our 20,000 years on this planet so far, as or whatever it is, that we are detectable. So we're only detectable out to a range of 100 light years.
I've got an argument against that, though. You said that, we're assuming that they'll use, that they'd use EM radiation. But if you flip that on its other side, surely they would know about EM radiation, so they'd be listening for it. They'd be listening for everything they possibly can in order to find more intelligent life. So, if that's the case, then they would hear us. It's like, obviously there's not a very large range that we've broadcasted to so far, and if they're within 50 light years of us, it still takes another 50 light years for stuff to get back. But, I don't know. It's very, very unlikely that that if they were using EM, that they would be entirely quiet from us. They'd be hiding themselves from us. Because all it takes is one individual to screw everything up.
The other problem is that by the time we detect a signal and then it comes back, then we send one back, the likelihood of the civilization either having left or killed itself is basically one. But by the time we discover an alien species, the likelihood that they're not there anymore is so large that it's not worth going out to visit them. Glory to our Stotska.
Glory to our Stotska.
Spicy food in high oxygen atmosphere.
Ooh. Space frogs. What do I think of the movie The Seventh Element? I've never seen it. I only know about the movie called The Fifth Element.
Wooden Amish spaceships.
Amish use technology. I call bullshit.
And the problem with a wooden spaceship would be that there would be too many gaps. And the wood would get wet.
Wood is also you can catch fire. It's generally very, very terrible.
Okay, yeah, that is a bit of a big problem, yeah.
Plus, it warps in heat, and space is a very hot place when you're in front of the sun.
And the temperature difference would probably just make it shatter.
Wait, did they include more of these screws because they knew I'd strip them? Huh. Funny.
So over the holiday I read some of Ian Fleming's James Bond books.
Oh yeah.
And you know the film Moonraker?
Yes.
The one where they go to space.
Yeah.
They don't, Moonraker the book is completely different.
Oh yeah?
It's entirely set within the UK. It's on the Kent coast.
Huh. That's where you
are.
are.
It's set during, it's just after the Second World War, it's during the middle of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Jaws isn't in it. Like, it's not a Russian, it's a German. It's like, it's an entirely different story with the same name.
Huh.
Have you listened to Saturn's radio waves and/or atmosphere?
No atmosphere. I assume that's a Cassini file. How likely or unlikely is it for the spaceships in Treasure Planet to actually work? They need rocket engines, and people will die because they need to breathe.
Rocket engines or a giant star whale to carry it. Now that's a Doctor Who reference.
Starwave
5,
just sounds
episode 2.
like a retro band. Cool. The pain.
How close is it to being finished?
Pretty close, to be honest. Here they are.
Right.
Okay. We're almost done with this godforsaken desk.
I'm sick.
I've never seen Treasure Planet.
How dangerous can moon dust be?
Very dangerous, don't breathe it. It's very sharp and your body can't metabolize it. It's like asbestos or carbon fibers. Don't breathe it.
Yes. That. And try not to get it in the console.
Imagine like swallowing sandpaper, but it gets all the way into your lungs and never leaves. You get a thing called mesothelioma. Yeah, it's like asbestos.
You can smell the moon dust.
Does it smell ionizing?
Don't eat it and don't sniff it.
Snorting moon dust is how you die. I mean, Cave Johnson did it in Portal 2. He died. Must have been a hard time for the Apollo guys. Yeah, they dealt with it a little bit, but I mean, they tried to stay away from it as much as they could.
Can you imagine snorting a mixture of cocaine and moon dust?
Cave Johnson, yeah. Funny story. The quarantine box, the quarantine trailer that they went into after they got back from their mission. They were in it for 2 weeks in quarantine. Turns out that there was a hole in it. They found later after the entire Apollo program went, and they found a hole in it. And it's like, oh well, it wouldn't have worked anyway. But thankfully, there was no moon phage, so we were fine.
A mixture of cocaine, moon dust, and popping candy.
What are we talking about? Cocaine. Something. Are you allowed to go in the Swedish election? Not this one, no.
Can you vote in the British one?
No. There was a lot of paperwork involved. I voted in the referendum though.
I wasn't old enough.
Dowley boys. There we go.
Any more burning space questions? Anything you want explained? Go on. Try us.
We may not be fennec foxes, but we're all ears.
Maybe the wolves have big ears.
Could the events of Half-Life ever happen? No. A lot of physics would have to be different for that to work.
Cold welding.
Cold welding. Yeah, you can take this one if you want.
Have you ever welded anything? Like, really?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I have. It's great fun.
Cold welding is a vacuum thing, though.
I think I did TIG welding.
Right. Cold welding is if you have a really, really good vacuum and you have really clean, non-oxidized, non-coated metals, they will kind of just stick together as soon as you touch them together. And this is because metals are really weird, and they kind of like to be one material. They're not really. They're weird. You get two metals which are non-coated. There's no air. There's no oxidizing layer or anything between them. And you touch them together, they'll just become one piece of metal because that's the way metal works. It just kind of binds to itself if it can.
I'm afraid I don't like it.
Sorry?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No oxidizing.
Oh. What's wrong with no oxidizing?
Rust. Rust is oxidized.
Oh, your name is Rusty, right? That's pretty fun. Are these like made of urethane or something? Yeah, these are like made of some kind of urethane or something, some kind of polymer. The space radiation clean metal prior to cold weather. No.
There is a main called Rusty, and that main is me. The formula for rust is Fe2O3.
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 Yep. And Mars is covered in it. But only a thin layer. The moment you get beneath the red surface of Mars, it's just plain old stone. Just great.
Mars is overrated.
Shut up.
Boring.
It doesn't have to be.
Everything is Mars this, Mars that.
Well, what do you propose? Stars? Stars in the universe.
Amazing.
Amazing. Look, I'm standing on a cliff and there's a guy in a helicopter flying above me. This is how you film a documentary.
I've watched his Wonders of the Universe series.
Yeah.
I can remember his locations better than I can remember what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Like at one point he was on Machu Picchu, I think. Then he was on a beach. Then at one point he went to the river Ganges. Then he blew up a prison in Brazil. In space, when you build it, you push you backwards. What's your favourite Red Dwarf episode?
I haven't seen much Red Dwarf, but you have, haven't you?
I have. I've seen all of it, but the season 9. I do like the Western one. That was a good one.
Alright guys, do I want to see this when I open my drawer? Or this? I don't think I want to see this. It's not really my thing. Plus it's easy to, it's hard to see stuff with this noise pattern. Here we see a wild Hiyu in his natural habitat.
Favorite? I'm trying to think. Red Dwarf episodes.
Do you think we could ever enter Jupiter's core? No.
No.
There wouldn't be much to be gained from it anyway. We can find out what it is without going into it. That would just be like bragging, you know, if you managed to do it. Like, there would be no science.
Ketchup. Your ketchup
Your
on
science
lobster?
would melt. Do you want ketchup on lobster? Ketchup?
That's
Is that a thing?
a Red Dwarf reference.
Oh.
Alpha Betty Spaghetti.
Is that also from that?
Yeah.
Ah.
Who'd clean up the mess? What should we do with the Mr. Fiddle? That's a good one. The one where Rimmer goes insane.
Jupiter's core is solid. You need to drill your way in.
It's solid iron.
Yes. Bad times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, too much pressure, you would be killed before you got to the core.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a robotic mission here.
Oh, either way, it would be
There's
crushed.
no leaving. There's no leaving.
What you gotta remember is that Jupiter is very big. It's like 10 times the size in diameter or something.
It is a big boy, but it's gravity as its surface isn't too bad because of how big it is.
I mean, you would still be crushed.
Well, 2 Gs, you wouldn't be so bad. You can still walk in 2 Gs. It just sucks.
By the time you get to the center, like,
Oh yeah.
10 times, the diameter of Jupiter is like 10 times the diameter of the Earth or something.
Well, I mean, also if you get to the center, you don't feel any gravity. Remember.
Yeah, but getting to the center, you feel gravity.
Yeah, on the way.
Yeah. If you have a shell of material, a hollow shell, and you stand inside it, there's no gravity anywhere, no net gravity within that shell. It all cancels out. How do we feel about Heelys?
Heelys.
Yes.
I mean, they're not my thing, but you know they're cool.
I know.
But like, don't be like a nerd using Heelys though. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't be saying this, but like, if you're a really buff person, then Heelys is hilarious, and you should absolutely have Heelys.
There's a guy in who wore Heelys, like nothing but Heelys, for the entirety of first year. And sometimes we had to walk from one building to another to get to our lectures. And our campus is on a hill.
Oh.
So you just see him coming down on his Heelys, come up to the speed bump, just step over it, and then carry on with full momentum. It was insane.
That's amazing.
Like, you'd get like ridiculous speed going down the hill. And to the point where he voted like the most recognizable person on campus.
The most what?
Recognizable person in campus.
Oh wow. Heelys guy.
People that weren't in the physics cohort knew Heelys guy. But he stopped wearing them in second year. So.
We had a bowler hat and cane guy in college. He wore like a proper suit with with a hat and a cane. He was obviously in the philosophy class.
Oh, of course.
I wasn't in that class, but I knew about him because he would be outside and he would like try quizzing people on philosophy stuff. And yeah, I did fuck him up, don't worry. No, I mean as in like philosophically.
Yeah.
I didn't actually do philosophy class though, I just kind of made him think. He made me think too. Am I doing this right?
The
I'm sweating.
he has them built into his suit. He has pause with the Heelys built in.
Hello Tippy, welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm assembling IKEA furniture.
Why the heck can Aquaman call whales when they're mammals, not fish? He's only supposed to call fish, but he can call whales too.
Wait, does that mean he can call seal? Okay, so traditionally seals were also called fish because they were from the ocean and they swam, so they were fish. Some seabirds were also considered fish. because they swap. That's the way they used to think about it a long time ago.
Like to the point where in the Middle Ages, on Friday, you're not in some Christianity traditions. You can't eat. You can only eat fish on a Friday. But the definition of fish was loose. So it did include things like otter and seabirds.
Oh, okay. That's probably why it was so loose, because they had like bias.
Yeah.
Why would you eat otter? It probably doesn't taste very good at all.
I don't know.
Like,
There's
birds
a
don't
river
taste good.
otter in Devon. The River Otter. And there's a brewery there called Otter Brewery. And they make otter beers. Include an Otter Dark, an Otter Head, an Otter Amber.
What? Oh, I see.
Why the heck would that man call whales and their mammals? A wizard did it.
This smells like the place where I do blood tests. I'm pretty sure they have tons of IKEA furniture then. Or they have some really strange wood treatment.
Otters are cute, yes.
Otters are very cute. Now martens, okay, pine martens are... A pine marten may be cuter than an Asian small-clawed otter. But by definition it can't be, because you never see a Asian small-clawed otter. You always see like a group of them floating around in a mass. So otters are actually cuter than martens. No, river otters can get out of here. No, no. Oh, I mean the river otter. That's what you're
The
looking
river
for.
otter.
Ah. Not
So
river
there
otter,
are-
but the river otter.
No, not a river otter, the river otter.
Oh my
There's,
god.
There's a town on the River Otter called Ottery St Mary, right? And it's known for two things. One is the basis of Ottery's Catchpole, which is the village which the Weasley's house is just outside of in Harry Potter.
Right.
And two, it is known for its tar barrels event, which happens on Bonfire Night, November the 5th, every year, where residents of the town run down the high street with bars of tar barrels on their back, which have been
Right.
set on fire.
I see. That is
And then
quite
fireworks.
disturbing. That's also what happened to the Weasley's house.
I don't think there were tar barrels involved in the burning of the Weasley's house. Spoilers.
Well, they had to do the special effects somehow.
Yeah, like a lot of Harry Potter comes from Devon.
Alright.
Jake
Moment of truth,
Rowling.
y'all. My poor foot. Ow. Sludging. Oh. Ah, it's almost done. Alright, it's
Hey.
telling me to put the way. Actually, I want to show you here. The way they want me to make the drawers not fall out of the desk is by there's a screw here you put in the side of the drawer, and you like put it in some ways, and then it tells you to stop right there. And then once the drawers are actually in, you like screw it behind that little indent there, and that's the only thing that stops the drawers from falling out. I'm not going to do that because I want to be able to take the drawers out and move them wherever I want. But that is actually the lame way that they get you to do that. So let's. Oh my god! Come on, we can get off of here. Come on. Oh wait. Is it actually timing it? Never mind.
Yeah.
Reconnecting. Reconnection successful. I think that was my camera or something.
You're buffering.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think OBS glitched or something.
Oh, no, you're back. Hello.
That's weird.
So anyway,
Ken, do you think the PIM particles, I don't know about those, but I assume it has something to do with how they shrink and grow? No, it can't exist.
I don't always know. Also, Ant-Man, I haven't seen the film, but I know that Ant-Man is inconsistent with its own logic.
Yeah, no, the film is entirely based on how much it doesn't care.
like one of the rules that is set up at the start of the film, apparently, what I've heard, is that they cannot shrink smaller than an atom, and then, yeah.
Come on.
The video has a slightly ominous echo. Echo, echo.
Is that you?
It might be. Is it me?
Alright.
I have been hearing myself a bit. Okay, they are the particles that allow Ant-Man to shrink or grow. Yeah. No. Can't exist.
How do I...
How dangerous can it be if you sleep in a room with bad ventilation in space?
Not necessarily that dangerous. It's very uncomfortable. You'd wake up gasping. It could be very dangerous though if you have the perfect storm of things going wrong with the CO2 buildup around you. You may not notice. If your body doesn't wake you up, but I think your body would wake you up. Your body would freak out.
Yeah.
It has happened before.
It'd be fine. It'd be fine if you went to breath play, like.
Yeah, that's a thing. Drawers, come boys, get in there.
Ah, it's a perfect fit. No cigarettes in space? Probably not.
Cigarettes in space? No, no, definitely not. Anything that creates fire, anything that can burn, no.
What about the song Burn from the hit Broadway musical Hamilton?
What the hell? Why are you not going in? It's very easy to go in. There we go.
My favourite IKEA furniture is the Poang chair. Mine is this. I don't know. It's I don't know how recent it is, but last time I went, they had a light, which was a ball. It's like
Oh, the crazy ball thing.
a big silver or gold ball.
Yeah.
And you could pull one toggle to turn it off. The other one makes it spread out, and it looks so cool. It's like the Death Star exploding.
Yeah, it's like a. Yeah, it was a really cool one. There's some kind of internal design challenge they did.
I've got the ball. The ball about the size of a melon, cantaloupe melon, and you throw it, and it changes colours from yellow to blue.
Yeah. I'm just gonna head out and put this box away. Oh my gosh.
Nothing that can create fire can be in space, but what about light bulbs? Just keep going with this. Yeah, LEDs. The sun. You should get curtains from IKEA. IKEA do curtains? I know that they do rugs. Do they do curtains? How about fireplaces? Sure, if you, Hiyu?
Yep.
How sustainable would fireflies be light source upon a spaceship?
Fireflies is a light source.
Yes.
Wait, if nothing that can create fire can be in space, then what about light bulbs? You heard of LEDs, folks? Because they've been using fluorescence all this time. But they are using LEDs now because they can change the color temperature so that at night they go, the blue light turns down, so they go kind of orange. so they can sleep better and get to sleep more easily. Because that's the thing. No, LEDs are a thing. Fireflies, terrible idea. You have to have the resources to feed them and to breed them, and you don't need to use extra resources for any reason. Oh yeah, here is I got a thing 3D printed, so I modeled this. Some of you may have seen on Twitter that I made a Dragon spacecraft. And yeah, I went ahead and got a 3D printed. The details aren't on there because they were actually the texture, and they weren't actually in the actual geometry, in the mesh. So, but yeah, I had this 3D printed. It comes apart, fits together really nicely, like that, and just kind of holds like that. So yeah, I'm going to do something to this to try and process it to make it like nicer. I'm gonna try and sand it down and fill in the gaps, and maybe paint it straight away, or maybe I'll try and practice molding. Right, let's get all this stuff out.
Oh, Hiyu has disappeared.
I'm not in the room currently.
Speaking of LEDs and fluorescents, the YouTube channel Vox has currently got a series running about Hong Kong. They're doing this documentary series about Hong Kong called Hong Kong Borders, and they did one on why the Hong Kong nightlife is changing because of the rise of LEDs and stuff.
Oh.
If you have time, go and watch Vox's Borders Series 1 and Series 2. It's good stuff. Good documentaries.
These drawers are the spawn of Satan.
You built it.
Alright.
Is space food similar to military MREs?
It is very similar, yeah. Sometimes it's exactly the same thing, but sometimes it's a bit more custom made. European Space Agency is a lot more sort of, they're very custom with the stuff. Whereas with the Russian side, they're like, they have tins of things, I assume, in the military. The US side, they're pretty much the same as the military MREs, though I think they're closer to civilian MREs. Hi, we met at London Fairs, and you stole my Loki stuff for pigs, planning on returning anytime soon. I give it back to you minutes later, don't lie. But yeah, awesome, I remember that. That's awesome. Your stuff was really cool. Alright.
Also, if you're ever stuck and you need a military ration, go for an Estonian one. The Estonian military rations are actually really good.
I mean, what we got here is, right here I have some chicken masala and chili con carne here as well. So one day I'll get around to eating them, sometime in the next 10 years.
Let's show you what Skype is created. Let's have a Google. Skype. Skype.
Right.
Skype was founded in 2003 by Niklas Zennström from Sweden and Janus Friis from Denmark. The Skype software was created by Estonians Ati Heinla, Fried Keselu, and Jan Tallinn.
Jan, that's a very Estonian / Finnish name.
Oh god. Okay, so Skype is Swedish, Danish, and Estonian, but also slightly Polish. And slightly Luxembourg-ish.
Well, Jan is a Finnish name, but Finnish and Estonian are quite similar.
It was founded by a Swede and a Dane. Software was created by Estonians. It was then integrated into the Polish market, and then eBay acquired Luxembourg-based Skype technology.
Want to know something funny? Skype's offices, we're actually in their previous office, our studio. We moved in a couple months ago into their previous office. It's in Moyang's basement, the new Moyang location. So we play games against Moyang every now and then. We lose.
Telegram is better. Telegram has issues.
Telegram and Discord are so much better.
Telegram and Discord are good, but they both have their issues. They both have their positives.
Dude, Discord is going to become a competitor to Steam.
Yeah. Telegram and Discord aren't really connected so much anymore. It's more
different.
Telegram, Skype, Telegram and WhatsApp.
Is there something in this, or is it just empty?
Yeah. The problem with Telegram is that it's servers. It's servers are its biggest issue.
Yeah. Well, they're getting like DDoS. That's why they go down.
Yeah, which is a shame. But the community is really cool. One of my friends had a very specific problem with his Telegram, so they fixed it for him, sent him his own API for him to download, whatever it is, APK, which fixed it for him, and then the next day pushed it out as a global update.
Ah.
What type of motor is in that drill? Battery powered. Hi.
Hi.
What type of motor is in the drill?
I don't know.
If I were to use a power hose in outer space, how would range with pressure be affected?
Power hose? I mean, the water would just come straight out. We wouldn't even turn it on, the water would just come out.
Yeah.
I mean, if it had an okay seal, then maybe not, but it would be pretty quick.
So that would be a long hose. You connect it to a tap.
Phone number's based on Telegram. Yeah, it's really annoying. It's kind of like trying to be like WhatsApp.
Yeah. Oh well.
I still got soap. Soap from last year's puzzle. Yeah. It's strong. I have to eventually use it.
Does it have a flavor?
I don't know. Berry Blast.
Ooh,
Violet flavor.
that's good.
Buttons, headphone stuff. Yeah, some extra screws, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, here's the one good rotor from the drone after it crashed. Well, actually, none of the ones that it crashed with are good. This is one I had from a previous crash. This is a good weight. This can be used to keep this thing flat. Might need another bin to put here. This is too tight. Why is this so tight?
Is that the weight room?
Huh?
Is that the weight room?
What?
Where you're sat?
Yeah.
You in the weight room?
The white room.
Yes.
This is my
Everything is
bedroom.
white.
It's it's white all over. I'm going to put up posters and using accent colors to make it stand out. I'm going to have like an orange, maybe not an orange pillow, maybe an orange bed sheet, some colorful bed sheets. So that'll be like the main accent of the room.
Orange is good. I approve of orange.
Yeah. Well, that's the way we're doing things. Is we have actually, if only I could take the camera out here, but I think it's on too short of a cord. The film set is right around the corner. How long is this cord? If I connected it to like the monitor USB instead, I'd be able to do it. I could probably do that. Which one is the webcam? I wonder how your OBS is going to deal with this. So far, so good. It's like frozen on that one frame.
Technical difficulties. Back in a second. You're being told to yell out of the window.
No, that's a different town. That's Uppsala.
Yeah. Tom Scott did a video on it, I think.
He did, but he didn't get very good results.
No, so he scrapped it.
There's also a place called Bro, which is very close.
Yes, he's been there as well. Oh god, I love Tom Scott.
Alright, you can still hear me just fine, right? The mic is still correct.
That was very loud.
What was it? The computer noise? Alright. So, I can pick this up now. Is the camera not working? I'll try and turn it off and on again.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I'm gonna have to remove it and add it again. Video capture device. Yeah. Yep, looks good. Control F. There we go. Alright, let's move you guys out. So, here is the film set. And there's a light. I want to turn the lights on, but it'll take effort. I'd have to go out there. Can I move this higher? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we can see. So there's the ironing board. I've put like a green pillow at the top for my head to rest on when I need to rest. And I've got the iPad there and the stylus that I use to control the iPad where I have my script. I read my script from there. And yep. So it's a big set. And because the ironing board is like the entire length of my body. And yeah, currently a lot of it's kind of fallen apart because the heat wave was so strong it actually melted the goddamn hot glue that I used to put it together. So so yeah. You all could be proud of being furries. It's just the fact is like furry is not something you were born as. It's just something you like to do. So it's not the same as like gay pride. It's you know it's just kind of like be proud of being brave to be weird. The voice used for Hiyu is very sweet and friendly. Thank you. A lot of the time I actually have that voice in reality. Even at work sometimes. I don't know how I got it. It just kind of appeared. Like I put on the head. I don't want to do it now because I'll be like this. But yeah, I put on the head and it kind of like squeezes my cheeks in like this and does some weird thing to my throat, and that kind of just ends up with me sounding different. Let's see. I blow my nose again and then see if I can get the fursuit on.
Bless you.
Stream couldn't hear that, but you certainly could.
Oh, so now I'm going to sound weird, just saying bless you.
Oh, it's your blessing me. It's very nice of you.
Who is the other fellow in the room?
That's one way to scare someone, certainly. If you don't know who the other fellow is in the stream, that's Rusty. He's a good friend of mine. He's an astrophysicist. He won't tell you that, but he is. I'm gonna get more water.
Astrophysicist in training.
Astrophysicist.
It's what it says in my Twitter bio.
Actually, wait, I have some chocolate. No, I've already eaten the chocolate, never mind. Some kind of sugar to put on a fursuit, you know? Astrophysical.
You're nearly there. It was going so well until you put a J in. Yes, hello. That is me. I'm waving, you can't see me.
So many little metal filings everywhere that are going to get stuck in my feet. Okay, I put that stool back on the stack.
You have a stack of stools?
Yeah, we have 3 of them. Right, it's done. I guess I might as well put the books on it as well. Yeah. A book that Trist is a furries on Confuzzled stuff. He gave me this to me at Confuzzled. It's sort of a more entry level thing. I have a book I haven't read yet on Galileov, the head of the Soviet space agency when that was a thing. This one that I got recently, which I will read eventually, Fundamentals of Astrodynamics. And then, very important book right here. Yeah, never to be forgotten, that book. I had, a normie friend who visited my boyfriend here. He read that entire book, and it was very enlightening to him. He liked it, but very difficult for a furry to read this book. In my opinion, at least. And there's another one here beneath the mic, so actually I'll grab it very carefully. And put it down very carefully.
Sid.
Oh, hello Sid. Hi. We've made a desk. And this is the big book. This is the real rocket science book. Look at that upskirt shot for Falcon 9. Very nice.
Okay.
Oh.
Rocket science doesn't need a book. Rocket science is one differential equation.
Shush! There's more than that.
It's really not. There is literally the rocket equation. That's it.
Yeah, it is one thing. It was made up by 2 different people at 2 different times.
Hello.
Oh, hey. We have
I'm
Sid.
here. I did it.
Yeah, it's done.
Oh my goodness. Look at all your books. I really do like the upskirt shot of the Falcon 9. I got a couple of those books. It's a good angle. Wow, nice desk.
Yeah, right. It's nicer than it looks nicer than it actually is. Like this drawer.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
It's alright. It'll maybe loosen up eventually.
I got the vice attached here. Got a cutting mat. And yeah, just lots of stuff. So.
What even is a pine martin?
Huh?
Someone asks what even is a pine martin.
It's like if you took a weasel and made it bigger, and it could parkour through trees.
Yeah.
Tree otters.
I like
Yeah.
I like Tippy's question. A stoat and a pine martin? This is too
This is
much.
too much slink. Indeed.
I have
Space weasels.
I have
Yeah.
an otter character.
You do, but maney wolves are fantastic too. You have so many legs.
All the legs.
Yeah.
They have 4 legs, Sid.
But it's so many more because of look at them. Look at the aspect ratio.
The aspect ratio? My god.
Now all we need is
Oh,
a
I see Chorka. Hello, Chorka. Chorka, or Chris, as they are called in this chat. Chorka is a good man. I saw him at the beach last weekend. We got sunburned together.
Hooray!
I mean, I'm assuming. I actually don't know that if that's the truth, but we're both white and we both went to the beach, so that means we both got sunburned.
Look at my friends.
Maned wolf.
I've looked at this wiki page so many times that I can tell which parts have been updated since I last looked at it.
The main wolf wiki page. Wow.
It's actually like in the last year, it's basically doubled in size. It's
The
great.
Pine Marten wiki page has basically just been, hi, this is an animal. We don't know what it does or why. Also, it has a smaller dick than this other marten, because for some reason it says that on Wikipedia.
Oh no, Weasel.
We're-
This is a deal breaker. I'm sorry.
There were a few big, I think it was 2 or 3 big research projects into the main wolf in the last few years. And one of them discovered that there are completely black ones.
Oh.
Like jet black maned wolves. I can't remember what's the word. It's gone.
Edgy.
Edgy.
Rusty, have you talked about your cruise yet on the stream? Did I miss that?
Only a little bit.
What? Tell us more. I haven't talked to you yet since you've been back. Was it amazing?
It was pretty good. Hot.
Hot.
Very hot. And a lot of walking.
Hold on, guys. I'm just getting the suit on.
Alright. Okay, well, should we entertain the people by talking about my holiday?
Yes.
Yeah, do it.
It's an interesting thing.
Okay, so I flew to Fotocina Airport, which is 10 miles outside of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
It's Rome's airport, and then took a coach an hour north up to Civitavecchia port. Got on a cruise, and they got on a cruise ship there, the Norwegian Spirit.
Is this the same company as the airline, Norwegian Air?
I don't know.
I'll look it up while you tell your story.
Alright. And then we left Civitavecchia, and we spent the day at sea. We went between Sicily and Italy, up to the south of Croatia to a port called Dubrovnik.
Oh yeah.
So we disembarked in Dubrovnik, and they had a lovely old town there. It was very hot. It was like pushing 40 degrees for most of the day.
Right.
We took a cable car up to the top of the mountain, and the views were incredible. Like you could see miles out to sea. The whole old town. Like, it looked like a medieval city.
Yeah.
From it, yeah. Dubrovnik, the V is pronounced F. Dubrovnik?
Did anything particularly like good or tragic happen on your vacation? Was there any like crazy story?
My mum lost her phone in Dubrovnik.
Oh no! Did she find it?
The first stop. We got a taxi from the ship to the cable car, and we got out of the taxi, and then we were going to the cable car, and then my mum realised that she'd left her phone in the taxi. And in Croatia, their taxi system is all like self-run, so there's no central hub that you go to. It's like each taxi is an individual person, they run it themselves. So there's no good way of contacting the taxi driver, and the police station was halfway between the old town and where our ship was, and it was a 1.5 kilometre walk, which would have taken half an hour in 40-degree heat. So we let a taxi driver know. He passed the message around there, let the ship know, and we got back. My mum had to buy a new one. So,
Oh no, that's awful. Wow, I can't imagine right off the bat.
and like a week before, on Amazon Prime Day, I'd bought her a new SD card to go in it, and then I
That's
cancelled.
pretty
Then I had to cancel my Prime subscription because I was on the 6-month student trial.
Well, I guess if losing a phone is the worst thing that happens on a vacation, then that's a pretty okay vacation.
Yeah, nothing else major happened.
Did you discover anything culturally surprising about the areas that you visited? Like, whoa, why are they doing that?
Right. Can I just say, Slovenia is one of the best countries I've ever been to.
Slovenia?
Slovenia.
Wow.
Yeah, like a bottle of beer in Slovenia is €1.50.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just that alone.
We docked in the port of Koper. It's like one of 3 towns on the Slovene coast. Because Slovenia's got a tiny little bit of coast. But we did an excursion. So we drove half an hour into Slovenia, and we went to this place called the Postojna Caves.
Uh-huh.
They are the most incredible caves, right? It starts and ends with a 2-meter train ride into
the heck?
caves. It's like something from Disneyland.
Wow.
And then the caves are just spectacular. You could fit like 2 cathedrals in some of the caverns. Like I think I took more photos on that day than any other day. Yeah, it was insane. And then we went up to this old castle, which is the other side of the caves in the mountain, and it has an entrance going into the caves, and it's like on a sheer cliff face, and the engineering has been there for like 600 years. It's incredible. Do you watch football/soccer? Personally, no, but
I haven't watched a lot, but lately, my friends Kanu and Chorka have been inviting me, and Chorka's in the chat, by the way. They've been inviting me to watch the football on their giant projection screen in their living room. We've been watching Orlando City Soccer lose over and over, and it's quite sad, but it's still really fun to watch. Like, it's kind of fun to root for the home team, even though they've lost like almost all of the games lately.
it's coming home.
Yeah, it's still fun, and it's inspired me to want to go watch a game in person. Because, man, I guess our local stadium is one of the loudest in the industry because like people in Florida are rowdy, and it's also engineered to be very loud. They have they have sections behind each goal where there's no seats. You just stand, and they can fit more people in, so they can louder sound. And like people come from all over the world, like teams come from all over the place, and like there are very common comments from the players from elsewhere. And it's a loud, oh,
Hello.
Weasel. Hello.
I mean, angle the camera upwards.
Forget football. There's a weasel.
But I had a fun fact about stadiums and acoustics.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
So you know Wembley Stadium in London?
No. But
No? It's a 90,000 seater stadium in the centre of London. It's the biggest stadium in the UK. It's like the 3rd biggest in Europe or something.
wow.
And as well as hosting, they host like big football finals and stuff. They also host a lot of concerts there. Now the problem with Wembley is that it's very big, and that and if you're sat right at the back, there is a significant delay because they have screens up so you can see the performance from the back. But there's a significant delay between what you see and what you hear if you're sat right at the back. So what they do is they have speakers along all the seats so that the sound comes to every seat at the same time.
Wow.
So that it's in sync with the video projection.
That's genius.
Yeah. So the music is being blasted from the front where the performers are and from the back where the speakers are. So it's going all the way around the stadium at the same time.
Very clever.
Very clever. Anyway, who's Hiyu?
There's the boy.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes,
What do you have
I'm
to
here
say
now.
for yourself, Weasel?
Muffled and everything.
Are you the world's loudest weasel?
No. But I am
Like,
I have length. Like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think if I offered you egg as an incentive, you could become the world's loudest weasel?
No.
No.
You have to
Are you-
offer at least 2, and I don't think you'd be willing to give that up.
Hiyu,
Yeah.
what's your favourite rocket engine?
Raptor. Easy.
Raptor.
Yeah.
There we go.
The new SpaceX methane engine.
Yeah. Full
Or as Hiyu
stage
says,
combustion.
methane.
It is methane.
Yep.
Methane. Did I forget how it
Methane.
goes? Something butane.
It's one of those new butane rocket engines.
Expand to me with your wisdom, Weasel Man. I'm not sure I like that phrasing very much.
Put that on a t-shirt and sell it.
Hell. It's how to fan yourself when it's too hot. Whew.
Who are the guys leading this chat?
Oh,
Good.
I'm Sid Stoke.
And I'm Rusty.
Yep. You got a
Hello.
Sid, Stoat, and a Rusty. And we built
Should
a
we-
desk.
Should we
It's
introduce
amazing.
ourselves?
It actually doesn't move very much.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Be careful.
Explain. Oh no. Danger.
Danger.
Seeing as somebody asked, should we introduce ourselves? Sid,
What's that, sorry?
do you want to introduce yourself to people in the chat?
Yeah, I'm Sid Stoke.
People like expand.
I'm also a long boy, much like the Martian on screen. I've been working with fighter jets and rockets for 13 years now, and it's a lot of fun. And I plan on doing it for more and more years to come. And I don't want to do anything else with my life, at least at this point.
This doesn't fit on my head.
Will you be building the furniture in suit?
No, it's built. I have so much more to build, and I will not build it in suit. That's a terrible idea.
Are you done building furniture, Weasel, or do you have more to go?
Oh yeah, no. So we built this. I've already built this bed, and then we built this bench here. We also built this desk that the computer is on, which, by the way, it's one of these cash money boys.
Ah, thermocouples.
Yeah. So no more IKEA tonight. We're done with the IKEA. Have you heard of the new Oculus Go? Yes, I have. Looks cool.
You know, somebody asked if there are any rocket engines that use thermocouples in their nozzles to get some power, but I don't know. I've never heard of that.
They didn't use thermocouplers.
Is it
They
not?
use. I think they use. Because there's much better ways of getting power from rocket engines. You can get it from the turbines are spinning. You can get power from that. They spin to pump the fuel into the engine. So if they're spinning, you can just get power from that. It's fine. It's like it's exactly like any normal diesel generator, or petrol generator.
Yeah. And somebody a second ago, who was it? Jason Tyler the Otter said that his favorite engines are the RD-180, or excuse me, RD-170, and the Rutherford. The Rutherford engine is really cool.
Oh, the Rutherford is awesome.
That's
Angry
a 3D
boy. Rutherford is one very angry boy. Very
Yeah,
small one, but very
the
angry.
mean little thing.
It's only about this big.
He's a good New Zealander as well.
Who? Ernst Rutherford?
Yes.
Yeah, I like. There's this fad of companies naming rockets after like astronauts and famous space explorers, and astronomers, and things, scientists, and I like this fad. This is a good thing. We should continue this.
Oh yeah, the thing with the thermocouples as well is they don't want the outside of the engine to get too hot. They actually, most engines have some kind of regenerative cooling, meaning they actually have lots of pipes inside the walls of the engine they route the fuel through before putting the fuel into the fire. And that means they actually warm up the fuel, which is usually really cold, and also use the cold fuel to cool down the engine walls. So you would actually have cool walls anyway. You wouldn't get much, energy from that.
Yeah. But there are other ways to power a spacecraft. If you're close to the sun, you usually use solar. If you're far away from the sun, you use a big block of bunch of plutonium pellets.
Yeah, radioactive thermoelectric generator.
Yeah, and this plutonium just sits there and heats up because it's decaying, and then you take that heat and you turn it into electricity. Plutonium.
It's moved away from plutonium now.
Oh, what are they using now? Is it uranium?
No, it's a light one.
Oh.
I can't think what it is now. I did it in A levels physics. As part of our because in the exams you were given like a thing that you had to read up on.
Thorium?
One was on ways of powering shuttles and spacecraft.
Thorium?
And satellites. Thorium? Hang on.
Is it strontium that they're using?
Oh, it could be.
Or polonium?
90? Strontium 90?
Strontium 90, maybe polonium 210.
Musk sent a car into space. What would you guys send into space given the opportunity?
Egg.
Yeah.
Hiyu.
Yeah.
I would send Hiyu.
Oh.
So, actually...
Yeah, Strontium 90.
I would send politicians into space.
Ah, yes.
And that you could take that as a joke. Like, we need to get the politicians out of here. Or you could think of it like...
It's like serious, show them what it's like up there. Show them what the Earth really is.
No. Can you melt obsidian and cast a sword? Boo.
So, the way... I like the way Edgar Mitchell said it. He was one of the people that flew to the moon. And it's like one of my favorite quotes from any Apollo astronaut. He said, after he landed from a spaceflight, he said, "You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics look so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck, drag him a quarter million miles out and say, 'Look at that, you son of a bitch.'" And so that's what I want to send politicians to the moon. That's pretty damn good. Oh, wow.
The UK should Brexit into space. Funny that's the plot of the puppet show at Confuzzled last year.
Chorka said they used RTGs in the Arctic too. The Russians did.
Oh no, they have RTGs on freaking buoys out at sea.
That's nuts. Huh.
Or buoys, as the Americans call it.
Buoy. Jim Buoy.
Also, regarding UK Brexiting into space, Lord Buckethead is a politician, in inverted commas, which runs against the Prime Minister in their constituency. And one of his manifesto points is to have a referendum on whether there should be a second referendum, and then to leave the UK by 2020 and the solar system by 2025.
Excellent.
And also something like stop buying foreign weapons, start buying space lasers from Lord Buckethead.
Are we
Lord
talking
Buckethead.
about the guitar player Buckethead?
No, Lord Buckethead.
Lord Buckethead.
I'm not.
He's a political candidate who runs against prime ministers. He's like a joke party, but his policies are the best policies.
Yeah. He really is just they're like a foam cylinder, a really tall foam cylinder he places on his head with like a slit cut out for the eyes. And it's really imposing. And he has like a Darth Vader suit. His name is Lord Buckethead. Google it, it's the best thing ever.
I put a link in the chat.
Oh my god, he has a website.
Yeah.
Buckethead from Maidenhead.com.
Maidenhead is the area
Yeah.
which Theresa May holds, our Prime Minister.
Yeah, that's where she's a local representative.
But it's always funny watching the results of the election in the Prime Minister's area, because they always get like the most joke candidates. Like this year they had Lord Buckethead and a guy dressed as Elmo. I think he got 3 votes, and it was like himself and his parents.
That's really funny.
And there's a guy who has to stand there and read out the name of the candidate and how many votes they got in the party without laughing.
And Lord Buckethead did a dab when his was written out.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And Jason Tyler the Otter asked, "What is the remarkable thing about the RD-170?" It's the I gotta break it down. So it's an engine that has 4 thrust chambers, and collectively, all of these separate thrust chambers create more thrust than an F1 rocket engine that we use to go to the moon. The only reason we call this one engine instead of 4 separate engines is because it shares a couple of common components that cannot be separated.
There's no way it has more
So a
thrust
lot
than
of
an
people call
F1.
it the most powerful rocket engine, but I don't really agree with that. I mean, because that really, it's not even in the same class as the F1 rocket engine. I mean, it's not even close.
There's no way it has more thrust than an F1.
Well, all 4 collectively create more thrust.
No, Soyuz has like 5 of them, right?
What's that?
Soyuz has like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way like Soyuz has the same thrust as a first stage of Saturn V.
Wait, I thought it was I think altogether. Hang on now. I think Soyuz uses a different one.
Oh.
Let me see here.
Was 170 used on Energia?
Let me see here. What does Soyuz use? I gotta get my Russian.
Well, I think they might be
I'll
a
look it up.
107 or a 110 or something. I don't know much about them.
So, Soyuz rocket. Let's look up the number that they...
I have no idea.
Rusty looks at the stars. He's at a whole different type of space flight.
I'm an astronomer, not a rocket scientist.
Yeah. And we need you. We need each other.
There's only ever about 100 professional astronomers in the world at any one time. The world just doesn't need more than about 100.
I hope you can be one of those, Rusty.
Me too. It means that I get to go look at all cool telescopes in like Hawaii and the Andes and the Canary Islands.
Go
and
to
the middle of
Scott
Australia.
Amundsen, it's way cooler.
Okay. It looks like the Soyuz uses the RD-107, and the engine in question here is the RD-170.
Oh, okay. Is that used on Energia?
Say again?
Is that used on Energia?
I believe so. Let me double check that.
Yeah, because that's a very heavy duty boy.
Oh yeah.
Is the 170 the 107, but with the middle and the top bit swapped round?
So yeah, I mean, a lot of people call it the most powerful rocket engine, but really it's 4 engines stuck together that share a couple common components. It's not even the same class as F1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you could fit this RD-170 inside the nozzle of an F1 with room to spare.
What's the small nozzle at the side of some of the rocket engines?
The small nozzle at the side, that's usually a
Exhaust pipe.
turbine exhaust.
Yeah.
So like there's a smaller rocket engine that drives the fuel pump for the bigger rocket engine, and that smaller rocket engine has to exhaust somewhere. And that's essentially the turbine exhaust. That's pretty much how it works.
And there are some rocket engines that have little rocket engines near them, which are actually for steering. Actually, there are some that use the exhaust pipe for steering as a roll control. They move it left and right relative to the engine to roll the rocket. Falcon 9 doesn't do this because they have engines around the outside. Anyway, they have 9 engines, so they can already do roll control.
Yeah.
And of course, Falcon Heavy, they have there are 2 outside cores, boosters that can do the roll control. So yeah. Oh, the dangerous soundtrack.
Like the old Atlas rockets, like the old ones, not the new Atlas rockets. The old Atlas rockets used these tiny vernier thrusters for that. They're so cute.
That weird flat Earth guy who made his own rocket. No, the guy before him, the Daredevil guy. He actually got the rocket's engines he used for his Daredevil rocket to go over a canyon were 4 Atlas verniers that were like thrown out in the trash.
There's a ton of Atlas verniers laying around. There's like a bunch in museums. Just I don't know. They must have had lots of surplus vernier thrusters.
Well, they produced a lot of those because it was smaller rocket and military importance.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think it's ending the stream now, but it was really productive. We made a workbench. That was nice.
Yeah.
I think I should head to bed.
Yeah, same.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks for telling everyone.
Because I'm in a different time.
Yeah, thank you, Rusty, for coming on, and thank you, Sid, for coming on as well.
Happy to do it. Thank you, Weasel. This is fun.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks, chat, for being awesome. And providing lots of good questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent questions, everybody.
Yes.
Gonna mouse over the correct thing. Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'm waving, but you can't see.
Yeah, me too.
There is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel this is a place where I feel